When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wherever you're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Mek Wi Talk program with yours truly, Jeffrey Tavares. Jamaica's oh, one moment for me, please. One moment. Mr. Rattigan calling me here. Yeah, Will. Yeah, Will. I'm live. Yeah, man, look on your email. All right. Okay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentle people. In the normal media, you don't do things like that. But when you have a person coming on, yes. Welcome to another episode, another edition of the Mek Wi Talk program. A nation under siege. A nation under siege. A Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice was awarded Jamaica's highest honor, Order of Jamaica, while our people are being gunned down like blackbird in this country. Good morning, wherever you're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. We're going to have Wilfred Radigan coming on with us this morning. We're asking you to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Like up this live feed. Share this live feed. Jamaica is under siege. In less than 24 hours, 7 Jamaicans were murdered under the watch of the Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice and the Prime Minister of this country. Quite frankly, the two political parties failed this country in securing its people. But Jamaica's only hope right now is to see if a Mark Golden-led PNP can really revamp this country and put a damper on the crime situation in Jamaica. Like this live feed, share up this live feed. 7 people have been murdered in this country. As I come on air, I got a breaking news that 2 men was gunned down in the intersection of, I think it was Orange Street or something in downtown Kingston. And you hear nothing from the Minister of National Insecurity, Twiddly Dum Dum. A lot of people don't like when I speak. But you have a Minister of National Security who was yesterday National Heroes Day. What an insult to our national heroes and heroines. To give Dr. Harris Chang Order of Jamaica when they were the one who fought for this country. Nanny of the Maroon, Paul, Bogle, Marcus Garvey. All of them fought for this country. And now we have this man given Jamaica's national highest award on National Heroes Day. And last night, 5 people were murdered on a football field in our country, Jamaica. 5! This morning they get up. 2 more were murdered. And you hear nothing from the Minister of National Security. You hear nothing from them pertaining what is going on in this country. Not a word. Not one single word you hear from them. Is this the nation? Is this the Jamaica that we all want to leave for our children? A crime-infected country where corruption and crime is the highest order of the day. And when you speak, you must speak the truth of what is going on in Jamaica. Jamaica is under siege this morning. A mass shooting yesterday. And all they're doing is putting a band-aid on the situation in this country. That's all they're doing, putting a band-aid. As if the band-aid can assist what is going on in Jamaica. You were the one who promised the people of this country, Prime Minister Michael Andrew Holness, that you will let us sleep with our windows and door open. And until now, that has not happened. Until now, that has not happened. 5 more Jamaicans has been murdered in this country. This morning you hear about that another 2. Make it 7 people have been murdered in this country. One moment, please. 7 people have been murdered in this country. 7. In less than 24 hours, 7 Jamaicans has been gunned down. And on the advice of the Prime Minister, the Governor General Award, Dr. Harris Chang, Jamaica's highest award. Dr. Chang is laughing at us. And so we can't turn the chit chat. You know what I do? You know what I do? I get award. And that is why I keep on saying this, and I will not apologize to neither he, she, nor the old lady. The crime statistics that's been given to us by the JCF is wrong. It is not true. In what modern democracy can you have a Minister of National Security not doing his job? And he's been awarded for the level of murders in this country. The level of murders in this country is awarded. But we sit down in this country because what? Our party is in power, we must speak. Our nation's in crisis. I want to read something here to you. In 2023, Jamaica had a homicide rate of 60.9% per 100 people, the highest in Latin America and the Caribbean. The numbers of murders. Garfield, I'm live at the moment. No calls until I open the line. The highest in Latin America and the Caribbean. The numbers of murders in 2023 was 1,393. According to them, it went down from 1,498 in 2022. In 2014 rather, Jamaica has a murder rate of 1,192. In 2016, Jamaica had a murder rate of 1,354, a 34.73 increase from 2014. Jamaica is one of the most violent countries in the Caribbean. When Jamaica gained independence in 1962, its murder rate was 3.9% per 100,000 people, which was one of the lowest in the world at that time. Jamaica is one of the most violent countries in the Caribbean. When Jamaica gained independence in 1962, its murder rate was 3.9% per 100,000 people, which was one of the lowest in the world at that time. And this morning you wake up. This morning you wake up. You don't hear an address to the nation by the Minister of National Security or an address to the nation by the Prime Minister of this country. But what he did yesterday was to put a slap in the Jamaican people's face by awarding this minister one of the worst, listen to me, one of the worst minister of national security in the history of this country. And all when you come in here and talk, and all you can hear, oh, child, that they come with that. Because what, it don't reach your doorstep yet. Dr. Harris Chang, you need to tender your resignation, sir. You need to step down as Minister of National Security for this country. Like and share this live feed. Like and share this live feed. Like and share this live feed. Our nation is in crisis. Whether we want to believe it, yes or no, this country is in crisis. This nation is going on a path that we don't want it to go. And I say to you all this morning, I'm not taking any call now, you know. I'm not taking any call now. Good morning. I'm taking any call now. I'm not taking any call now. I'll soon take some calls because I need to hear what is going on and need people to talk to me. But I have to talk this first and get Mr. Rattigan to come on for us to discuss that this country is going down a path where we don't think it's going to be a return. If we, the Jamaican people, do not get up, Dr. Harris Chang need to go. It's a dark day in the history of this country. When the mass shooting happened in Clarendon, you jump up, we're going to give some money to stop it. Information to come in. You want to hear nothing more about it yet? Then jump down there for photo up, hugging up this poor lady. Oh, Lord, mommy, I'm so sorry. And now this morning, they get up again. Last night when I run the breaking news and I got the news, mass shooting in a football field. This morning again, you wake up, news organizations and people who in news send me to Jeffrey Tavares, listen to this. You have to run this breaking news. 2 more Jamaicans was gunned down in downtown Kingston, while 5 was murdered in Rockfort yesterday evening. And you hear nothing from this administration. Not one single word from this administration. But yet, they're spending $1 billion according to them to protect brand Jamaica. One moment for me, please. You're right. One moment for me, please, people. We have breaking news here. Oh, just come on. Just come on. The PC never works. Okay. See. Okay, cool. We're trying to get Mr. Rattigan to come on, but his thing is giving a little bit of problem. But let's pray and hope he comes on. Huh? In this 21st century Jamaica, I am not saying that there's not mass shooting in the United States and all over the place, but you promise we the Jamaican people, whether we're in the diaspora or we're in Jamaica, you promise the Jamaican citizens that you will make them sleep with the windows and door open. Now they can hear lot of scamming make this happen, that they make that happen. We are in a crisis in this country. We're in a crisis in this country. This nation is in a serious crisis. And if we do not stand up and stop this damn nonsense as die-hearted and call upon this present government, and if you can't do something about the crime in this country, you need to go. No, man. Look, I sell it to him. Hold on for me, people. Hold on. To get Rattigan to come on this thing. Hold on for me, please. Hold on, Ratty. Hold on. That's what I did. Oh, hold on there. Hold on. Let me say something here. Hold on for me. It went. Lord have his mercy. One moment for me, please. Let me get this thing to Mr. Rattigan. One moment for me. We do apologize about this. I thought I did send it. Gmail. One moment, please, ladies and gentlemen, people. We do apologize for this at this moment. We have to get this up and going. We do apologize about this. I don't have anyone to assist me with this, so I have to do it myself. We're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Mek Wi Talk program with yours truly, Jeffrey T. We're going to try and get Mr. Wilfred Rattigan, retired FBI agent, to come on to the program. W-I-L. Will Rattigan. Oh, yes. Will Rattigan at gmail.com. Here it is. Check it now for me, Mr. Rattigan. We're really listening and watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean. We do apologize about this. We do apologize for this live feed that we have to get. Will Rattigan 1L at gmail.com. Okay, send it to me. Send it to my WhatsApp. We do apologize about this, people. We do apologize. We do apologize, but we have to get this up and going. Yes. Based on what we're seeing here, based on what we're hearing, but okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, Mek Wi. Try it now, sir. This is how we try to get this thing done. We don't have anybody to help us, so we have to do it ourselves. We do apologize. I do apologize to everyone about this. The program this morning is about Jamaica on the siege with this crime and violence thing. And sometimes we ask ourselves the question, what is going on in this country? Some dark days ahead of us in this nation. Some dark days ahead of us in this country. Dark days ahead of us. And tomorrow morning, you're going to hear them saying they're going to address the nation. Address the nation and what? They're here. Moment. Are you hearing us, Mr. Rattigan?
Yeah, man.
Welcome to the program, sir. In the last 24 hours, 7 Jamaicans was murdered. Last night, 5 on a football field. This morning, as we're going to come on air, 2 was gunned down at an intersection in downtown Kingston. And the Prime Minister decided to give the minister an award. Your views on what is going on in our country, sir?
Them shall give you the award because you bring out more stories about crime than where the Minister of National Security I bring out our way my address. Them shall give somebody like you a public service award. That award is grossly undeserved. You don't deserve that at all. You know, when I hate upon him, like I said, Ed Bartlett, I think giving the Prime Minister, giving the Minister of National Security an award is a disservice to the award received by Mr. Ed Bartlett. People say that we have nothing good to say about the government, and that's not true because I believe that Ed Bartlett, despite I mean, this is not perfect, but at least you can see that he's trying to make a difference. Him go around and do this thing. Although we have some little issues with things we have done, one of them there we're gonna bring them out still. But
yes,
in terms of tourism, nobody I think can say, well then boy, he's not trying. I mean, his award is well deserved. But then to put him in the same category with the Minister of National Security, I think it waters down the award. It doesn't do it justice. Because if anybody who says that the Minister of National Security is doing a commendable job in the same vein as the Minister of Tourism, they're making a mistake. You know, they're making a sad mistake. Hold on a second. Hey, Mustafa.
And based on all that we're hearing, based on all that we're hearing right now, is that all they can do is put a curfew up in that area, as if the state of public emergency and curfew going to assist or stem the violent crime in our country. You have been using the state of public emergency.
What was that?
They said that they're going to put a curfew up in that area.
That is their answer to everything now. Curfew, state of emergency. Curfew, state of emergency.
Hold on for Mr. Rattigan. Is your mic on? Because you're getting, yeah, I'm hearing a hollow thing coming from you. Is your mic on?
Yeah, man. My mic is on. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, but it's very hollow.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Mic check.
Much better.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
We're speaking to retired FBI agent Wilfred Rattigan. And all that is going on in our country, Mr. Rattigan. The people are left to suffer while the minister and the prime minister have security around them 24/7.
Let me just say, big up to everybody in the chat. Cynthia B. Who else must say? Daphne, GP, Jeffrey. I hope you don't mind me. I take time.
Go ahead, man.
Garth. Who else? Everybody in the chat. Big up on yourself. But there again, once more for shed light on the things that we're going on. Petro, yeah. Shed light on the things that we're going on in Jamaica. Because Miss Rita, Reggae Girl. By the way, people, don't forget to know, tomorrow night, Jeffrey, give me the liberty to make this announcement. Tomorrow night, from 8 to 10, we have Come Reason with Rattigan. We're going to come in and want to drive the train tomorrow. Me drive the train on a Saturday, want to drive the train on a Wednesday. I'm going to come in and ask any question about anything, anybody, we don't care. That's how confident we are that we can go out and address the issues that are concerning to Jamaicans at home and abroad. And we can provide answers. No, we're not perfect. There's some things that I'm sure we won't have the answers to. And so what we'll do is we'll take the time out. Well, first of all, we'll admit that we don't have the answers. And then we will then say, the next time we come back, we'll try to get an answer between now and the next time we come back. So tomorrow night from 8 to 10 p.m. on Reggae Global, sorry, not Reggae Global Radio, on YouTube. On YouTube, yes. Tomorrow night. YouTube, the program is called Come Reason with Rattigan. Not Reason with Rattigan. Reason with Rattigan is on Saturdays. Come Reason with Rattigan. Your program, our program still, but when I say your program, meaning you are really the host. And you, listening, viewing audience, our people, and I'm the guest. So don't just ask me anything you want to ask me. And God willing, me will be able to answer all of your questions. No, Corinne, yes, Corinne, big up it. Monica, GG, you do your homework, GG. Okay. Who else there? Merlin, big up yourself, Merle. Merle, one of the regulars, them, you know, we love Merle like Sunday dinner, man. Merle tune in for all of the programs, them, and spend time with me on a Saturday night. Oh, I shouldn't say it that way, then, Merle. Shouldn't say that way, just say I spend time with me on a Saturday night. Cynthia B, Carol Allen, yeah, Hugh, Anne, yeah, what else there? Let me see. Yeah, Monica. Oh, Carl said she spent time with me too. Evelyn, Miko. Yeah, me there. Okay. Angela. Yeah, man, like I said, Jeffrey. The killing spree it's in Jamaica, it's like par for the course. Because no, if one person is killed, if you notice, sometimes it doesn't even make the news. It doesn't make the news. No, it's like 3 or more. Even 2 sometimes never make the news. 3 will make the news. 4 will, 3 definitely will make the news. Anything above 3 will make the news. But it's Sandra, big up yourself. Carol. Okay, Carol. I met you in Miami. All right. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mr. Rattigan, when you look on all of this, sir, in which modern democracy can this happen? And you hear nothing from the officials' mouth? Only a band-aid by saying you put state of emergency?
I know. One Love, the DPP. Tune in this Saturday. We have some documents we want to show you about the DPP. Yeah, you're going to find it interesting. Gladys, pick up yourself. But yeah, you know, Mr. Tavares, when you say that, what kind of democracy we're living in, where you don't even hear anything, people just don't. People have become numb. People have become numb to it, and then you hear them say crime down, but then when you look at the poll, it says that over 40% of Jamaicans still think that crime is a big problem in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we don't know. I'm not going to tell people how to vote. All I'm going to say is please look at the issues, listen to how the issues are presented, dissect them with a discerning mind, and then do what you have to do, because this is just it's just ridiculous. 5, and I thought you said 7 in one day, right?
5 last night and 2 this morning, make it 7 in 24 hours.
Wow. And we don't even know about what our country. We just thought
there you go. As a matter of fact, this morning I was told that something happened in St. Elizabeth, but I can't confirm that as yet, where the shooter mother or auntie and her niece and burned the house down. So I can't confirm that as yet, so I'm waiting to confirm that. But what is going on in our country is ridiculous. Remember to hit the super chat, like up this live feed. We're speaking to the man, Mr. Wilfred Radigan, about Jamaica's crime situation. What can be done? We come and we talk about it, but those who are in authorities in our country, you believe that they're just twiddling the thumb around this thing, Mr. Radigan?
Yeah, Christopher, big up yourself. No, you see what happened is that they remember, people, just follow me now. 2016, 2015, Prime Minister talked about controlling crime and him to get the people in a frenzy, because him say under his administration you'll be able to sleep with your windows and doors open. I think he said it in 2015, but definitely at 2016. And people said, look, this is a young, dynamic, vivacious man, and just, he's not the typical politician, and we need new blood. And them say, okay, all right, fine. And then put him in another thing. And then they come up with this plan called Plan Secure Jamaica, which is part of the National Security Plan. And then make a big deal about it. And then they've spent more than $1 billion US dollars, according to the Minister of National Security. And we can't see where the money go. We can't see. We don't see any appreciable decrease in crime. Because remember now, it must not just be the statistics, it must also be how you feel about crime. And if you ask Jamaicans, even Jamaicans who live in gated communities, if you ask them, how do you feel about crime? They're going to tell us that the crime situation is bad. That's one of the reasons why I'm living in a gated community. The crime situation is very, very bad in Jamaica, despite the amount of money that them claim them spend. So you have to ask yourself this question: where did the money go? Because we're not seeing the results. So how was the money spent? And it was just this past Saturday that we heard that for the past several years, the JCF, they keep giving back money. They get money to spend and they keep giving it back because they don't spend it. And then we hear all kinds of possible reasons, supply chain issues, this issue, that issue. That. The fact of the matter is that when you provide the information to the Ministry of Finance and you say, we want money to take care of our people, and you're provided with the funds, you should have a plan in place already to get the resources. You should have a plan in place already to deal with the recruitment. Because remember now, that is how you get the money now. You provide a plan and say, you don't just say, we want X amount of money. You provide a plan and say, here's how much money I need, and here's why I need the money. And then you get it.
Oh, I want you to listen to what the Member of Parliament for East Kingston and Port Royal has to say, Mr. Philip Paulwell.
Nachulos.
Listen to this, Mr. Rattigan.
Okay.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
I am deeply shocked and saddened by the senseless act of terror that occurred in Pleasant Heights, Rockfort on Monday evening. 5 lives were tragically taken, and several others have been wounded. This cowardly attack has shattered the peace of our community. My thoughts and prayers are with the families who lost their loved ones and with those who are now fighting for their lives. I'm urging anyone who saw or heard anything to come forward and assist the police in their investigation. It is only by working together that we can bring those responsible to justice and to restore peace to our streets. I have already spoken to the Minister of National Security, and I'm calling for an immediate response from the security forces. We need a stronger security presence in Rock.
Let me go to the other one. There's two of them that I need to play.
And the surrounding areas. And I urge community groups, churches, and local leaders to unite in addressing this ongoing violence. Counseling services must also be provided to the families of the victims and those who witnessed this horrific event. This is a painful and a traumatic time for our community, but we will not let violence define us. Now, more than ever, we must support each other, stand together, and reject this kind of terror. I'm committed to working with the authorities and offering my full support to the families affected by this tragedy. Together, we will ensure that justice is served.
Visit our website at pnp.org.jm or check us out on
Mr. Rattigan, when you listen to all of this, everybody condemning it, and it keep on happening over and over and over, and we're not doing one single thing about it, but it keep on happening. What is your views on this, sir?
Because a very dear friend of ours, your program, my program, she just sent me a message and she said, look, it looks like what we're doing, even though we're trying, it's hopeless because we're trying to hold government accountable, but then we have people killing each other. So we have to get to those people as well. It's not just going after or holding Dr. Chang accountable and holding the Prime Minister accountable. It's also having people take responsibility for their community and what goes on in their community. Because
Mr. Rattigan,
yeah.
Sorry, can you continue talking? Give me 2 minutes. I have to deal with something here. Let's go ahead and talk for me, please.
Yeah, because the people see things, people know things. What we have to do is we have to have a comprehensive plan where we can get the community involved with law enforcement. There's a disconnect right now, and people are afraid or unwilling to talk to the police to let them know what's going on. And the police, on the other hand, there is corruption within the ranks. We cannot deny that. And that corruption, it may not be coming from a lot of people, but it's coming from enough to cause a problem in terms of policing. Then we have at the management level, we have people who they really don't know what they're doing. And so if you listen to them, every time something like this happens, you'll hear them talk about if you listen, you hear what Mr. Paulo said. He's asking for an immediate response. We don't know what that means, but for the police, when they say immediate response, it means a state of emergency, a curfew, and occasionally you'll hear them talk about the STAR program. But that's not enough, and it's not enough because every time these things happen, like Jeffrey said, we keep going back to the well. And we keep drawing the same water, right? Or drawing water from the same well. It's the same thing over and over. Listen carefully, people, when they talk, and just tell me if you are hearing any ideas coming out of them as to how to address crime and criminality. When you press them, they'll tell you that they can't release that information because it's confidential. Well, if it's confidential and you can't release it, then how will the communities get involved? Because the police cannot fight crime by themselves. They cannot. It will not work. There must be a space where the police and the communities can engage. And if there's no trust, if there's no confidence, we're going to be going down this road time and time and time again. And you're going to hear the same tired solutions. And by the way, when they tell you that they put a curfew in the area, they put state of emergency, all it does, it radiates crime and criminals. They just move to another area. One of the things I need to let you know is this, and I'm sure lots of you have seen this and figured it out. Let's say there's a hot spot in St. James, and they go in. First thing is that they make the big announcement, we're coming in. So everybody's gone, right? And so they go in, and of course, when they go in, the crime rate is going to go down. But what happens elsewhere? Those criminals go elsewhere and they set up shop. And they go to some of these places where crime is not a common factor. But then you have unemployed youths there. And they're inveigled to join these gangs. And the people who migrated from St. James, and I'm just using St. James as an example, doesn't necessarily mean that it's true, but just for the sake of argument, it could be from any hotspot. And then they set up a satellite operation in another parish. Now, when the police move from St. James, for example, the criminals move back, but guess what? They've set up an outpost. They've set up a satellite organization. So they have contacts now in that community. So now instead of one hotspot, now you have two. And then they keep multiplying. And this is the problem that we're having in Jamaica. And the police I don't know if they understand how to fight. No, I shouldn't say I don't know. I know they don't understand how to do it. You're right, Petro. That's why Mandeville used to be such a peaceful community. Manchester used to be a peaceful parish. And what happened? It's different than some places, than the other places where you have bloodbaths taking place.
Just like what is going on in St. Elizabeth. St. Elizabeth used to be a very peaceful place. Look at what's going on down there now.
Yeah. And then, because I have some links in some of these places, and they tell me a lot of strange people coming in. And then they tell me, these guys are guys who run away from a place where they had something else going on.
No, what they're doing, Mr. Rattigan, is when the famous Minister of National Security and the famous Minister of Defense and the Prime Minister, what they do is this, is to make sure that the guys who are creating the crime, they move to another part of the country. That's what is going on. When they have a Zozo here, they move the guys that move gone somewhere else. So they're creating mayhem in another part of the country. It's becoming the Wild Wild West. Just like how Negroes is becoming the Wild Wild West. And what are we going to do?
And here's the thing. Another thing is this. And we're going to talk about it on Saturday. We're going to talk about the security or the lack thereof at the ports and the airports. We're going to show you why it's possible for all of these guns to be coming to Jamaica. We're going to show you a possible solution that the government turned down because the money not there for them chop and them turn it down. So that's another thing. It's that the proliferation of weapons coming into Jamaica is just I think it was the minister who said that 200 guns every month. Yeah, yes. 2,400 per year.
Yes.
And you see when them raise them and say, yeah, at the end of the year we recovered 800. Somebody should ask them, so what happened to the 400? When they're going about the 400, I remember no, it's compounded, right? So what happened is that you have, if every year them get 800, right? And let's say over the last 4 years, them get 800, but you have 1,200 come in, 4 times 4. That's 1,600 guns that them recover. 1,600. So people don't make them fooling. And Jamaicans, listen. I was looking at some stats last night for the Wednesday program, and believe it or not, Jeffrey, most of the people who watched the program last week, Wednesday, from Jamaica. Most of them from Jamaica. I think it was 40-something% of them came, 40-something% of the people listen from Jamaica. So we know that we're getting your attention.
Yes.
But you have to start doing something. You have to start. It's not enough to just listen and nod in agreement and say, yeah, them right. You have to start doing something. Don't forget our ancestors. Don't forget people like Paul Bogle, who decided that, listen, you know what? This is a cause worth fighting and worth dying for. We stand on those shoulders. And so if we could just say, well, there's nothing we can do about it, then guess what? There's nothing you can do
Nothing
about
will
it.
be done.
Nothing will be done. Nothing will be done. Somebody must take a step. Somebody must take a step and start doing something. No, even the media in Jamaica, them afraid to talk out. Them afraid. So we have to start taking some action. And by the way, let me repeat. And I say repeat, it's the first time on the today, but I've said it many, many times on this program. When we're encouraging people in Jamaica to take action, we're talking about legal action, legitimate action. We're not talking about, anything criminal or anything illegitimate. Nothing like that. We're talking about taking legal action, law action provided by the law. So I've always asked for people to protest in Jamaica, and I'm not suggesting that you go out and do an ad hoc protest. I'm suggesting that you go and you get your permit.
Mr. Rattigan,
yeah.
A very dear friend of you and I said I must ask you the question to address the issue about replenishment of ammunition and supplies.
For whom? Private citizen or
the JCF?
Yeah, there's a shortage. I don't know if I know there was a shortage the other day. A shortage of, because Jamaica is on a list, a list of countries that they banned from getting weapons. Just found out the other day. Yeah, Jamaica is on the list. So that's why you can't find ammunition right now. You can't find ammunition, and the weapons for private citizens are in short supply. You know what that means? That means that people go and get watch and
illegal.
No, because we don't have any security at the ports. So what's going to happen now? You're going to find them sending in ammunition making machines. You watch and see where they can make their own, the bullets. And then also you watch and see, you're going to see people start using 3D weapons. Just watch. They found a few several years ago. Once people can't get guns, then they're gonna make them. But for right now, they have enough guns in Jamaica because it's a free for all. Jamaica has open borders. You can just bring anything in at any time. Don't worry about it. You can't even fly a plane in. You can't fly a plane in with contraband, and you can't fly a plane in with people. Don't worry about it, man. Just flying. Trust me.
Come on, and you cannot have Rocky Point or St. Elizabeth.
You can land at Palisades. You can land at Palisades with 200 people on the aircraft. Don't worry about it. You can't do anything. Look, you can't even send drugs out of these airports. I ain't have to worry about them. They might hold on some of the drugs, but they won't catch you. Don't worry about it. Right? Just do what you want to do, because Jamaica are free for all. Them have what? The same government said them have more than 100 illegal points of entry, right? And not to mention the legal points of entry. And there's no security to speak of. Look, them say them buy boat for almost $70 million for patrol the waters. And the stations we are making to shore using rafts. And them have the state-of-the-art they call it not sonar, radar, where them can see miles and miles out at sea.
And not only that, remember they have tracking since you can track everybody,
Yeah. Them have tracker and can track everybody. And yet still people still make it, ashore. And the fancy boat with all of the state-of-the-art technology can't pick them up. Right? It's people have to tell the police, listen, we have some strangers in our community and they don't speak our language. We think them come from Haiti. And it's so them might catch them. So,
in all of this, Mr. Rattigan, in all of this, our administration had promised the people they can stay with a Wellington door open. And they have this Minister of National Security for how many years now? Bobby Montague left, he take over. He obviously he can't travel to the United States. Based on he has been, he went there once and that was it. When Donald Trump was in power, and that was it. How he got to go there, we don't know if there was a waiver that he can get in and they don't trouble him, I don't know. But based on what is going on now, Mr. Rattigan, people are being gunned down in this country like blackbirds. You hear nothing from these people. What do you think members of the diaspora should do?
Well, let me just dovetail a question with what Wayne said. Wayne said, we need a petition to sign for the king to go with your letter, sir. Because I did a letter asking the king to remove the prime minister from the Privy Council. These are the kind of things that we need to do. Oh, by the way, Wayne, we're going to put it up on the website. So you can go to the website and you can see the letter. And then you can construct a letter or draft a letter like that. You can use the same language and change your name. Same thing. Or you can make some changes to it. And then you send it off. You just mail it off or you email it off. Because we're going to put up the email address there as well. So we can do that. But somebody has to do something, right? And going to Ronald's statement where he said, the truth is as long as the JLP and the PNP parties and the CIAs and the US troops exist in Jamaica, crime will never stop. But Ronald, the idea is not to stop crime. Because if that is the idea to stop crime, you're going to fail. You will never stop crime, Ronald. Look at Singapore, the model that everybody looked for corruption. Our minister of them just went to prison the other day. Just last month or this month for a year. You can't stop it. The best you can do is try and control it. That's what you can. Anybody who tells them can't stop crime in Jamaica, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. Once you hear them say we can stop crime, they're lying. If they say we can control it or we can try to reduce it, yes, that's possible. But when them say we can't stop it, you can't stop it. So what we need to do is, I am convinced that, again, because of fear or unwillingness, or some other reason, laziness, people in Jamaica are afraid to speak out. And when I say people, I'm talking about people who should be speaking out. Some of these civil society groups, some of the church groups, some of the business groups, a lot of these groups, they wield a lot of power, but they're not speaking out. And I am convinced, based on the lack of their expressions regarding this issue, that change will only come, or change is likely to come from outside.
Yes.
What do I mean by outside? The diaspora, and also donor countries, donor agencies, like the US, UK, Canada, and others. We have to do something from the outside to pressure the government, because it's clear that the government doesn't feel pressured by what Jamaicans are doing in Jamaica. They don't feel pressured. They don't feel pressured by it.
Yeah.
And how do you get them to respond if they don't feel pressured? They won't. But see, if, for example, if the US government should say we're going to hold back on our funding, if the Chinese government should say we're going to hold back on our funding, right? And if they say, hey, we're going to raise the we're going to remove your credit worthiness, we're going to downgrade it. And so now you start to the dollar jumping up now. So it's almost 160, I think 159 point something right now.
Yes.
And if it jumps up to 180, 190, guess what? You're going to have that serious problems. Some serious problems you're going to have. And that is when people going to actually start taking to the streets.
Let me ask you this question. Mr. Rattigan. The intercept of Haitian refugees by the same forces in Haiti or in other forces. Why is it that they can't intercept the guns that is traveling from Haiti in the Caribbean?
Well, just like how them can't intercept the Haitians them coming in until they reach land. Similarly, the guns are coming in, and they have no answer to it because Jamaica Jamaica has porous borders. Don't forget that not too long ago we have more than 100 pipe bombs that they found. We haven't heard anything more about the pipe bombs.
Not a word.
Yeah, they found the pipe bombs. We don't hear anything more. Zero, nothing. And this is all Jamaica. So that's why I'm saying when you operate a security force like that, then you know you shouldn't expect any better. Whatever happens just happens, because it just shows that they're just lax in what they do. It shows also that some of them, you know, they're incompetent. They don't know what they're doing, and it just shows that some of them are lazy. Them don't care. Also, some corruption involved. People just get paid the other way. How can you have more than 100 pipe bombs in a little country like Jamaica, and you don't get to the bottom of this? Look at the drug situation, the one in Boscobel, where you had the former high-ranking police official, Mr. Fitzbailey, who's now, I think, down in Turks and Caicos. Look at what he said. He kept saying, yes, we're on the cusp, we're on the brink of arresting people for this.
And until now.
And him left Ghana, nobody to get arrested. You know, we don't know the drugs, and we don't know if the drugs still in the evidence room, it might be flour for all we know, or something else they replace it with, and the drugs gone.
As a Jamaican, Mr. Rattigan, living outside of Jamaica, would you consider Jamaica a failed state?
Yes. At the very least, a failing state. At the very least. And at worst, a failed state. A failed state. Like I said, the nicest thing I can say about Jamaica in terms of how it's being run, it's that it's a failing state. That is the nicest thing. Now, the people of Jamaica, the beauty of Jamaica, the culture of Jamaica, that's something different. Those things are extraordinary. You cannot find them anywhere else in the world. Things that you can find, beauty that you can see in Jamaica, you cannot view, you cannot witness, you cannot observe those things anywhere else in the world. Jamaica is an island paradise. It's just the way it's been administered, how it's been run. And they are running it in the ground right now. That's what happened, because everybody's taking for themselves. You know, for themselves. Everybody's taking for themselves. And then forget about the poor people.
Do you believe that? Go ahead.
Jamaican people, Jamaican culture, you know, including the food, the music, the weather, the beaches, the people warm and friendly. Everything about Jamaica is good enough, except the way it's been run. Everything about Jamaica good. If Jamaica was run the way a country should be run, let me take that back. If Jamaica was being run like 50% of how it should be run, we wouldn't have to worry about people that leave Jamaica. They might talk about the economy, they might talk about transformation, they might talk about prosperity. All that would be there. All that would be there. But Jamaica is not being run to achieve its fullest potential. It's not. It's just people say Petro said greedy John Cross. They just attack. They must attack. I just saw another poll. 40% of Jamaica said that 40% of Jamaica said that Jamaica is more corrupt than it was 5 years ago. And it was corrupt 5 years ago. And I'm saying no, it's more corrupt. Because people are when you have a prime minister with 28 bank accounts. 28. You see the people who live down behind me and places where look like this, a lot of them have not even one bank account. People who live, middle class people, them don't have 28 bank accounts. And we are talking now, you know, husband and wife. We're not talking one person. Rich people who have money, who can afford to do certain things, them don't have 28 bank accounts. So why is it? Why our prime minister? Why him have 28 bank accounts? And by the way, we don't believe that the 28. We don't believe the 28 is like what Petro said. We believe. We can't prove it right now, but we're in the process of trying to get some information that there might be more accounts outside the country. We believe that. So when you have something like that, I mean, it shows an insatiable appetite for greed. And I'll never forget, we had George, I was representing the FBI at a trial of a billionaire who for a few $100,000 got himself involved in corruption. And I'll never forget what the judge said to him. The judge said to him, greed is like salt water. The more you drink of it, the thirstier you get. And that is what's going on here, because people say, how much money you need, so? How much car you need, so? How much houses you need, so? How much vacation you can go upon, so? You can only do one at a time. So why greed?
While you have your countrymen that you swore on the Bible that you will defend and protect the Constitution of Jamaica, and you'll make sure the people come out of poverty to absolute prosperity. You're running that merits that you know people are gonna have prosperity. But Mr. Rattigan, when you have Jamaican church leaders, I shouldn't say Jamaican church leaders, when you have a church leader saying that Andrew Holness must be rich.
Hold on. Let me do it. I stand corrected. Carol, you're right. It's not 40% who said that. It's even worse. It's not 40% who said that. It's not 40% who said that Jamaica is more corrupt. It's 66%. Not 40. 66% said that Jamaica is more corrupt than it was 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, who was in power? The same government. And Jamaica was corrupt then. And if you don't believe me, go look at the corruption. Look at the corruption index. Jamaica was viewed as corrupt 5 years ago. And now Jamaicans in Jamaica are saying that it is 66, 2 out of 3. They're saying that it is more corrupt now than it was 5 years ago.
So in other words, Mr. Rattigan, Jamaica is one of the Jamaica is one of the most violent and corrupt countries in the Caribbean then.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
And when you have Jamaican church leaders, well, not church, what church leader is saying that that is wrong with the Prime Minister of 28 bank account. The Prime Minister must be rich. Is it that the Prime Minister must be richer than the Jamaican people? Have more things than the Jamaican people?
Look, what people have to do is you have to take the blinders off, and it's difficult to do, and you have to step aside from your biases. All of us, we have blinders on for certain things, and we have our biases for certain things. We do. Nobody is like a chalkboard without any writing. We all have things here based on culture, based on education, based on living experience, based on influences, a lot of things. We all do. But what I'm going to try and ask you to do is try and put those blinders aside and look at some facts objectively. Just look at some facts objectively. Do you think a prime minister, I was going to say any prime minister, but a Jamaican prime, do you think a Jamaican prime minister should have 28 bank accounts? Just take your blinders off, take your biases off, put your partisanship aside. Just ask yourself, just be true to yourself. Just ask yourself, should a prime minister of Jamaica have 28 bank accounts? And if you tell me that you see nothing wrong with a prime minister of Jamaica having 28 bank accounts, you're lying. You're lying to yourself if you tell me that. That you see not, because you do see something wrong with it. But because we have been so trained and so to be so biased. Exactly. And we all are. But at some point you have to say, no, facts are facts. We can't twist this one here. We can't twist this one. Keep in mind, the Prime Minister has not said in his 70-some odd page affidavit, he never once said, I never had 28 bank accounts. I was reading it and I was hoping I would see that statement. So I could say, well, then these people are lying.
And even when he was addressing the parliament that day, he never said I don't have 28 bank account.
Yes, he never said they're lying. I don't have 28 bank. No, keep it. Watch this, people. Again, take the blinders off, put your biases to the side. Let's just examine the facts. The Prime Minister, if somebody say you have 28 bank accounts and it's a lie, wouldn't you come out and say them a lie and make them prove it?
Of course.
Not a lie. But the Prime Minister never said that, right? So put this right here. Put this right over here. So the Prime Minister had a chance to speak, had the opportunity, and he never dispelled what the IC said that he had 28 bank accounts. All right. Now look at what the IC said. Chairman, retired Justice Panton said last week in Parliament that everything in the report is factual. He said it. He said the report is factual, not guesswork. He said it's factual. So we have the Prime Minister who's not denying that he had 28 bank accounts, and we have the IC saying that he has 28 bank accounts or he had 28 bank accounts, and everything is factual. So people, how can you tell me now that because some people, they take offense to it when they say the Prime Minister have 28 bank accounts. And first of all, you ask them, do you agree with the IC that he has 28 bank accounts? And they said they don't agree with you. Then they say, well, why doesn't he disagree with the findings then? How come we're not hearing from him? We're hearing from you. The bank accounts are in his name. We're not hearing from him, but we're hearing from the IC saying that he has 28 bank accounts, and we're hearing from you saying they have 28 bank accounts. So it's if you tell me that, and also here's another thing. Petra, you're right. Him say some things we might try object to the report. Petra, if you read the report, him say some things we might object to it, but it's foolishness. Here's another thing, people, that I want to take note of. For those of you who have not read the report, I mean the new one, not the one from last year, the 171 page report. If you haven't read it, and if you have no desire to read it, for whatever reason, watch my program last week and the week before, and you will, and in going further back, and you will see an assessment of what's in the report. But let me tell you something that's in the report. And for those of you who have read the report, back me up on this. Or tell me something I lie. The Prime Minister got a $50 million loan, Jeffrey, from a company called Barita.
Yes, the Barita investment company.
Yeah. And I want all of you Jamaicans, I want all of you to listen to me carefully and put yourself in the position and see if this would happen to you. $50 million loan. And when the IC went and checked it out, them say, well, he put up a piece of property on Shenstone Drive. He put up an insurance policy, and he put up some shares, right, in a company. He put that up because in order to get loan from a bank, you have to have collateral. Them call it. You have to have collateral, because in case you don't pay it back, them have something them can go after and sell and get back their money, right? True. So himself put that up. When the IC went and checked, guess what, people? The shares that the Prime Minister talked about, those shares, they were not purchased until almost 2 weeks after him get the loan. Now tell me if you can get a loan, if you can walk in a bank and get a loan like that.
So he went into the bank and the Barita investment, and they gave him a loan, an unsecured loan without no collaterals?
It was a good point. It was supposed to be a secured loan. And people, when they say secure, meaning that you put something up to get the money. So that in the event that you stop paying or you can't pay, whatever, you're not paying the loan, the bank can then seize your property and sell your property to get back their money. And as you know, the property, whatever you put up as collateral, must be more than the money they might give you.
Right.
That's how it works. In simple terms, that's how it works. Now, what I'm finding out is that the Prime Minister get the money, the 50 million, and 2 weeks later, him buy the shares where him claims say, where them claims that him did have. So when him apply for the loan, him never have the shares. When him get the loan, he never have the shares. No more to tell me, put the blinders aside. Which one of you could have go to a bank and do that? And go to the bank and tell the bank that? Which one of you could have done that? That's just the shares. The property where I'm saying put up, the Shenstone Drive. He did not become the owner of the property until 6 months after and get the loan.
But no normal Jamaican can do that.
You cannot do that. That's why I'm asking people to put themselves in his position and say, if them could have go to the bank, go do that.
And no normal Jamaican cannot go to the bank and open a bank account without the required amount of money to put in the bank account.
He's opened bank accounts with zero. That's true. The reports reflected that he has. Yeah, I think it was
NCB Bank.
NCB. Yeah, he opened an account with no money at all. I want one to go try to that. I want when I watch now, when our family members, I want one to go there now today. Go to NCB and say I want to open a bank account, but I don't have no money to put 90 now. But I want, and by the way, why don't you give me the bank account? I want a loan. And right now, the collateral, they'll give it to you 6 months from now. When they'll give me the loan, 6 months from now, they're going to get collateral.
And not only that, Mr. Rattigan, what we need to do is ask one of the JLP propagandists to go up and do it. Who's defending the action of the Prime Minister?
Them can't do it. Them can't do it. And that's why I'm saying to you people, at some point, you have to face reality. Somebody put something in there about truth a while ago. Let me see something. Oh, come on. Somebody put something inside there about, I don't remember. Hold on. Oh, here it is. It's Annie. And it said the truth has no defense against a fool determined to believe a lie. That's 100% correct, Annie.
Mm-hmm. For those who are just
and then, Petra, but did his judicial review application said he objected or he's objecting to how it was conducted? Well, here's the thing. That's a good question, Petra. That's all right. Well, we love the people in there chatting. I might be some of them are my people. Our people, yes. We like it, yeah, because they're on point. No, it's the question that Petra asked. It's a very, very good question on several levels, because she's asking, did his request to the court, is he objecting to how the investigation was conducted? Okay. The only way you can sue the Integrity Commission and its members in court, you can only do it through judicial review. And you can only do it based on 3 grounds.
Yes.
One is gross negligence. And gross negligence is where you have a disregard for human life. I'll give you an example of gross negligence. Gross negligence would be like you have a school and have a road running in front of the school and the speed limit is 15 miles an hour. And you know why? Because children, all at play and all of that. So 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour gives you enough time to stop in case somebody should dart across the street. That's the rule. But then you have some idiot coming down the street doing 100 miles an hour. Knowing that there's a school, can you see the school?
Yes.
See the school and see the sign and him said, me I do 100. That is gross negligence, where you have a complete disregard. Just by your actions, it shows that you have no regard for human life. Now, that is not applicable in this case. Gross negligence is not applicable. Another one is like extraordinary use of force. That like when a policeman or a policewoman, they're trying to arrest you and they use more force than necessary. That is not applicable. So the only one left is malice. Remember, there are only 3 grounds: gross negligence, use of force, and malice. And malice goes to improper motive, ill will, where you're saying that we don't like a person here, and me I gotta just do this to them, right? No real justification. So now the Prime Minister must come now to the court and say, hey, them not like me. Them have improper motive. And in fact, if you read them thing, they use the term improper motive. They don't use malice. But if you say No, but you see what Justice Panton said last week. He used the word malice because he knows that the only way them can succeed in this is to prove malice. And he said, there's no malice here. There's no malice. So Petra, yes, you're right. He's objecting to how the investigation was conducted because what he wants to say is that it was malicious. There was improper will. I mean, improper motive. There was ill will. Them want to hurt him. Them never really do them job. Them just have it and them just have him up.
And he said that, and it's the same integrity commission that he helps to form.
True.
But
it's the same integrity commission that he spoke so highly about when it was being established. And don't forget, people, the Integrity Commission Act was actually started under the prior administration, but it wasn't completed until this administration took power. And it says Integrity Commission Act of 2017, but it really didn't come into effect until 2018, which is under this administration. And December 9th, every year, December 9th, is known across the world as Global Anti-Corruption Day. And Jamaica participates in that. And every year, go back and look at the Integrity Commission's website and just search for Anti-Corruption Day. And you will see where the Prime Minister, where he's made some very commendable remarks about the work that the Integrity Commission is doing, even as recently as December of last year, when he knew he was under investigation. He said, no, man, the Integrity Commission is, them are going good, right? And now he's taking them to court. Now, one of the problems is this. When in order for legislation to become a proposed legislation to become a law, it has to go through the upper house and the lower house.
Lower house, yes.
Right. And then when it's done, people, and I open and listen, this is like a little civics thing. I'm just pass this on to you, not because I try to show it, say, we know it, but because we learn it. We learn it over the last few months. You know, I forced myself to learn how do they pass laws in Jamaica. And so it got before the House of Representatives, it got to the Senate, and they get the required votes, and fine. But guess what? That it's not law yet. It's not law. It have two more steps. It must go to the Attorney General. And the Attorney General will examine the law for legal sufficiency. They do it, as we say, ass backwards. The Attorney General should be working alongside them as well to make sure that it's legally sufficient. But that's not how they do it in Jamaica. In Jamaica, they pass the legislation, then it goes to the Attorney General for determination as to legal sufficiency to see whether or not it can pass muster with the Constitution, right? And how it stack up against other laws. So them go through it and them say, because them have the big brains, and them go through and them look on it and say, yeah, this legislation, it makes sense, it complies with the Constitution and blah, 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 blah. I'll give an example why it makes sense. For a review of it, but not necessarily at the time when them are reviewed. I think it should be done sooner. But let's say the Parliament, they must smoke weed one day. We just have said this just for the sake of argument. And them high, them are all meds. And then pass a law where say that you have no freedom of speech. Just for the sake of argument. Them say no freedom of speech, right? Well, we know that that is in contravention of the Constitution. So when it got to the Attorney General, he would have said, no, this thing is not good. We can't move forward with this. It's an extreme example I'm giving you, but I hope you get the point I'm making. That when it goes to the Attorney General, he look at it in terms of existing laws. He look at it in terms of the Constitution to make sure that it's legally sufficient.
Right.
It can pass muster. And then guess where it go after that? It go to the GG.
The real big man.
Legislation can become law in Jamaica unless the GG gives it is assent. That's a word. That's a constitutional term they use. ASSENT. He must assent to it, and then it becomes law.
But Mr. Rattigan, does the GG really look over those things? Does he get the attorney general to sit down with the attorney general and say, okay, are these correct? And does he get people to do it, just sign the damn things and that's it?
The GG, the DG is, some people tell you that he's just a rubber stamp. Like whatever comes to him, he'll just rubber stamp it. But under the Constitution, he does not have to do that. But he's most of them, they're so happy about this job, this cushy job that they have where they pay for nothing, and they're treated like essentially kings in their own countries. In Jamaica, he's treated like a king. Oh, Petra. Oh, no, I understand you, Petra. I understand. And so these gentlemen, everything is paid for them. Housing, transportation, food, clothes, everything. And so they don't want to rock the boat or not, even though they don't have to. They must have to do them job. But the GG, our GG is, as unlike a lot of the GGs, they're proven to be rubber stamp approvers. Something come before them just boom. And what's weird is that they have advisors. It's not like it just come to him and him just have to do it. Him have advisors.
So that's why I'm asking the question. Does his advisors advise him properly pertaining to all of these decisions coming to him when it goes to the Senate and to him?
They're supposed to have some of the best and brightest minds in Jamaica, but I'm telling you that they're getting bad advice all the way around. They're getting bad advice on some of these issues. On some of the issues, they get good advice. But on some of the issues affecting the Jamaican public at large, they're not getting good advice. And Petra, you go back to Petra's thing where the Prime Minister is asking for the illicit enrichment section. And by the way, the illicit enrichment section, you will not find illicit enrichment in the Integrity Commission Act. It's not there. You will find it in the Prevention of Corruption Act, which is a different law, section 14, subsection 5. It's different. So that's what they were using to complete the investigation. They weren't using the Integrity Commission Act. They were using the Prevention of Corruption Act. But he's trying to remove it, and then you remove it, then what? He's saying repeal it, and then when you do that, then what happened?
And it goes back down to what is going on now, Mr. Rattigan. The whole crime thing. When Jamaicans sit down and see a Prime Minister 28 bank account, that is allowing the young people to go and chop. I want to go and chop. It's being said that these young people are chopping have guns with them. And that's how the crime come into the country. And we sell out the ports. I remember, on this same program here, if my memory serves me correctly, former Jamaican Ambassador Ambassador Ward, was talking to us about a piece of equipment to extray all these things that are coming to Jamaica. And at that time, it was X amount of money for it. And I think he proposed to the Jamaican government, not a word from them, canon upon. So the question must be asked, do they really want to fight crime in this country?
No. And that X-ray machine, they could have gotten it for free. When I was in South Africa, the South Africans, they were able to secure two at the port of Durban, which is the busiest port in Africa, right? And I could have pointed them in the right direction, and they could have gotten it. But you see, if there's no chopping going on, then people are not interested in that. And we're going to prove that this coming Saturday. Andrew Hewitt says that here's a problem. If he's getting bad advice, why is nobody going to jail? You know why, Andrew? Because power rules. Where it go? Power rules and absolute power rules, absolutely. Something like that. People not. Absolutely. Yeah, something to that effect. People are not paying attention, and they're not taking this thing seriously, Andrew. They're not. We are, but with the mass of people in Jamaica, they're not. And even in the diaspora, they're not. And that is the problem. We're not paying attention. We're not holding people accountable. If we ever, I'm telling you, if we ever start to do that, you will see the change.
This man is he's at a handing over ceremony or some signing thing at Jamaica House. And you think that he'll give, let me figure out, hold on there, make a see if I can make it come in here, make you listen to it, Mr. Rattigan. Let me go over back into here and see if I can get it to come up on the thing here. Wherever you're listening and watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean, this is the Mek Wi Talk program. We're live talking about the state of Jamaica's economy, the state of corruption in our country, and the crime and violence. This Prime Minister right here now is having a signing ceremony, a MOU. And you think he'll be talking about the crime in our country? This is what he's talking about.
By the way, this long-term and reliable fuel source, energy source, it's not just about environmental sustainability and managing climate change. In the growing complex geopolitics of the world, countries that are less reliant on fossil fuels find themselves in a much better position in terms of how they are able to navigate not just the geopolitics, but the external.
Let me break away from this because he's not talking anything that I want to hear. So let's break away from this. Mr. Rattigan.
Yes, sir.
You believe that this Prime Minister is going to solve Jamaica's crime problem, sir?
If what?
You believe this Prime Minister is going to solve Jamaica's crime problem?
Some people. I'm not saying that.
Go ahead.
But some people tell you that how can he solve it when he's part of it? Some people make that argument, you know. So you know, it's a crime shame though when you have so Charnel said, but it's a crime problem. I say, Charnel, you're one of them I'm talking about, right? But it's hard to defend the Prime Minister on these issues. Look, people, excuse me, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see a survey done, a poll done on how to view the Prime Minister and the job he's doing. In isolation, not in comparison to anybody, just in isolation by himself, and hear what they have to say. Because I just want to know if we're seeing the same thing, or maybe we're just too critical. You know, we're just too picayune. We're just looking at details, but we're not looking at big picture. I'd love to see that survey done of that nature and kind of get a sense of how people feel about him.
I want to read something to you, Mr. Rattigan, about the Jamaican dollar. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
The Jamaican dollar will open trading this morning, selling for an average of $158 against the benchmark US dollar. The Jamaican dollar will open trading this morning and selling for an average of $114.92 against the Canadian dollar. And finally, the Jamaican dollar will open trading this morning, selling for an average of $206 against the British pound sterling. Isn't this country in a serious financial crisis, sir?
Yeah, because I'm being told that the Bank of Jamaica, they're using up their foreign exchange to make sure that the dollar doesn't devalue further or faster. And I'm being told that for Christmas, they can't do it all the way to Christmas, and so people should be prepared for the American dollar to cost more. For it to cost more to purchase an American dollar. It's 158 now. It was 159 last week. It's 158 now because they're dumping money, trying to shore it up. But at some point they're gonna have to stop. They can't do it.
Hold on to me, Mr. Rattigan. Oh Lord, the person hung up. There's a call coming in. I want to read.
Call back.
I want to read something more to you also. A court in Peru has sentenced the former president to 20 years and 6 months in jail for corruption and money laundering charges. With a prime minister that has 28 bank accounts, would you say that's money laundering, sir?
No, here's the thing. 28 bank accounts, you would question it.
Okay.
28 bank account, just the fact that somebody has 28 bank accounts is not definitive of the it's not definitive of the issue as to whether or not there's money laundering going on. But it certainly is questionable as to why you want to have 28 bank accounts. Now you mentioned that was it Central America, Latin America? What one of those countries you mentioned?
Yes.
That? Yeah. The key word in what you just go ahead.
Hold on for me. Good afternoon. Welcome to Mek Wi Talk program. You're live.
Hi, Jeffrey. Good morning. Good morning to Mr. Rattigan. Are you guys taking calls now?
Go ahead, man.
Okay. So when I got up this morning and I saw the 5 murders that taking place, I called my mom shortly thereafter. And you know what is really kind of sad is how used to the situation Jamaicans have become. Because this is like what now, the 3rd or 4th mass shooting like this since the start of the year. If or whatever the amount is. Here's the thing: the economy is not doing well, crime is going up, and regardless of what they may want to put out there in regards to, oh, there's a decrease in this and things are going well, I with enough family and friends to know what they're saying is not the reality on the ground. And the fact of the matter is something has to be done. Something has to be done. And, you know, and I tune into you guys all the time and everything. But you see, and I say this all the time, Jamaicans really and truly need to take stock of what is going on in their country. You can't all have Jamaicans in the diaspora speaking louder than you in the mess out there. This foolishness, this foolishness has to stop. A prime minister with 28 bank accounts, moving money around, can't explain the source of it, and he's still the prime minister. A lot of times I will come onto your program and I always write, has the prime minister resigned yet? Because to take a page out of your book as to what you always say, in which other modern democracy this foolishness could take place? Nowhere else.
Only in Jamaica, because the Jamaica, you know, yesterday I was in a program, caller, and I realized that this country is as divided as the politics of Jamaica. Jamaicans need to understand that Jamaica can get to where Jamaica is now under one administration, But this is the worst.
No, it is. It is. And the fact, and when I was listening earlier to what Mr. Rattigan was saying in regards to when they did a poll, and they were asking Jamaicans if it's more corrupt. When I talk to people out there, I don't need any poll to tell me, and I'm not talking like hundreds of people, But when I talk to them and so forth, people who grew up like in the 70s and 80s under PNP, under GLP and all of that stuff, they say, listen, the corruption was bad then, but it's even much worse now. So the fact still remains that at the end of the day, regardless of what anyone may want to say, what is going on in Jamaica, I have personally never seen this. And people who, like my mom who's in her 60s, other family members, late 60s, 70s, and all of that stuff, they tell you about the austerity measures they had to go through in the 70s and 80s and whatever. But they still say that they feel like it is far worse now. I remember when my mom could stay home and take care, and my father could take care of my mom and 3 children. And now both my parents are working, me and my sisters are adults, and they're struggling even more now. What can I go so? This don't make any sense, and all this prosperity what them always putting out there. Because I tell you this much, this prime minister is very good. He has a very good PR campaign. Now, if the PR campaign could materialize into something of substance, then I'll be like, okay, you're doing good as a prime minister. But the fact of the matter is, putting lipstick on a pig still make it a pig. It doesn't change his behavior. It doesn't change the reality of how he wants to wallow in the mud all the time. And that is the situation. I have never experienced this much where people in Jamaica asking me for money. That never used to be a thing before. Now I know it is bad where people who are even working are working 2 jobs and they still can't pay their rent. No man, like if this foolishness continues and all of that stuff and you say it all the time, and I hear some people say, oh, maybe you're being a bit extreme. But what is going on in Jamaica now? I can't see civil unrest happening in the next year or 2.
What do you think
if not before that.
No, thanks for the call. And you say if you put a lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. But it's a pretty pig or a prettier pig, you know. But nonetheless, and you're right, it's still a pig. Now, you know, Carla, what I'd like to turn your attention to, if you don't know about it yet, is this. The Prime Minister, you know, this man have unlimited gall, you know. This man not fear, you know. It's like someone able to shut off criticism in our brain, you know, because with everything going on with him, you know, just last week, October 17th, right? Just last week, him come out and him said they might go on an international consulting firm to modernize and reposition Jamaica's global image. Because if you remember, then they say we are mash up brand Jamaica. Now I will submit.
Oh yes, the dirty 12, as in the one.
Dirty 30.
Yeah. No, what I would say.
Dirty 30, yeah, dirty 30. Sorry.
The person, at the top of the heap, the person who mash up brand Jamaica is the Prime Minister. Just go back and look at the report, and not even this one, but the one from last year. Look at the one last year and look at this one. He might mash it up. Now here's what I'm saying. We recognize that what is being said about Jamaica, what is known about Jamaica, may not always be accurate. So we want to know what is accurate then, because it said may not always be. So some things are accurate. So we want him to tell you what accurate, right? Then him go on and say, it's a bonus outline that the government is looking to make Jamaica synonymous with qualities like safety. You believe that? Safety. 5 active man shot between the last 24 hours now. Saying that we're reported. Sustainability and seamless experiences, positioning the island as a modern forward-thinking destination. Which world this man are living in? Hear him say, this is a direct quote. We want Jamaica to be known for more than just the 3 S's. So that's sun, sea, and sand, right? We want Jamaica to be known for security, sustainability, and satisfaction. Which world the Prime Minister living in?
So okay, not to interrupt. I want to ask. I think Jeffrey or whoever just said it just a while ago. Is he talking about Jamaica now?
Yeah.
Is he talking about? Is he being realistic right now? Because this is not what Jamaica. All right, let me just share something real quickly with you guys. I work with a good friend of mine. He's from Antigua. And just like myself, she likes to follow up with news back home and keep up with you know, the political development and whatnot. And Antigua has its own, but my goodness, the other day, so we're working together the other day, and she was like, "My God, what on the Prime Minister wants?" And wait there, she's like, "Of course, he was over in Antigua."
Caller, you're breaking up, you know. You're breaking up big time.
Hold on. Let me come off of my Wi-Fi. Are you hearing me better now?
Yes, you have 2 minutes to go. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I was talking with a coworker, man. So she's from Antigua. And and the other day she was asking me, "Oh, how your Prime Minister going on like that with his unexplained wealth and whatever not?" And then she was telling me that anytime a politician gets caught with their hand in the cookie jar over there, they're dealt with. So why is it this Prime Minister is still leading your country? And I had to sit there dumbfounded. What do I say to that? The Prime Minister, as Mr. Rattigan was saying, the Prime Minister is the #1 reason why the image of Jamaica is going down right now. No other reason, not because of SSL or wherever not. a prime minister cannot explain his wealth and are all these hundreds of millions of dollars going in and out of his bank account and 28 bank accounts. It is a shame. So in any event, I will let you guys continue on a real join. But you guys keep up the good work. But honestly, something needs to change in this country. It's getting from bad to worse now.
Thank you very much. The number to call is 954.
All right, take care.
You're welcome. The number to call is 954-529-8030. As we have Mr. Rattigan here, you can call in and ask any question leading up to tomorrow evening. One moment, another call coming in. Good afternoon, welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. We have Mr. Rattigan, you can call. Hello?
Bless up.
Turn off your TV in the background for a minute, sir.
Bless up.
Yes, sir. Bless up here.
Bless up.
All right, we're calling now. You know, say a section, a Mark Golden constituency just come out of heavy gunfire a while ago. We don't know the cause. We don't know if our police and terrorists, we don't know if our terrorists and terrorists. I tell you, say, Brother Jeffrey, a piece of heavy gunfire just take place a while ago. In a section of the community. And I tell you, say, you know when I heard bullets thing, in the section of the shooting that take place, about 5 schools, in the community, both adult and children's school. When them pick me there, because me ever talk no proper English right now. When them pick me there here, then they go and chat there. Them and the teacher, them not supposed to traumatize.
You know, caller. I think it was this morning. I was either talking to Mr. Rattigan or somebody else, and I said, "Are we gonna get up one morning and hear there's a mass shooting at a school in our country?"
Why? I tell you, me don't know what take place. But all of a sudden, all of them things will start up stuff. And let me tell you something. Where I'm calling you from, I call it from the Maxfield Avenue area.
Yes.
And you can tell you, say, it's 2016. Because me we attack to you. I'm a farmer social worker. Me talk myself as a farmer community worker too, because trust me, right now, to me try to stand up for my community. I even get targeted by even the police. Just to stand up for the community. But we can't tell you, say, Brother Tavares, Brother Ratty, say, I know the Maxfield Avenue here, I call you from. Here to which part you used to live, Brother Ratty. I tell you, say, a piece of heavy gunfire take place a while ago. Right now, youth fear run up and down. You know, so by the time everything kind of dribble down, you know, so them will come right just so. I'm coming because suppose I tell you something, Brother Ratty. You know, say Saturday night, some police we're on a road, we play domino every day, every night. We play domino because if the place is under turmoil, we couldn't play domino on the road. You see? I will play domino for so long, you have a set of police because we make sure we go live with it Saturday night. You have a set of police who I don't know if them get special pay to terrorize a special section of Mark Golden community. I'm going to talk about Mark Golden community. Mark Golden already live with Spa Willie. So we're going to talk about free community.
Yes.
You have a set of police. Say, in my house, some Christians have to run. In my house, some Christians have to run because when the police them come, the way the police them must come in the dark. People thought it was terrorists, so the people have to run.
Yes.
So when the church people them say the youth them running, the youth them run down left them because them don't know which part to go. I in my house them have to come because my door is open. And when them there with them praying, I'm praying, me I said, ladies do. I want to stop my praying because the police said they're at the yard.
Yes, sir. I have a call coming in too. So this, thank you for calling in. We're going to
Big
take
up
this.
yourself, brother. Bless
Only
up.
thing we can tell you. Yeah, but only thing we can tell you.
Yeah.
Only thing we can tell you say, since certain things go on, certain boy, I mean, I don't know what all of a sudden this mass shooting. And here where the security minister said nobody not to keep on the party or dance and thing and ray. And if you pay a permit, if you dance, you still have to pay an additional 40,000 before police to come at your event after you pay the permit. But Brother Tavares and Brother Ratty, I'm telling you something. When I go and big up on yourself, but Jamaica can't sing. Tell the people that can't sing.
All right, my friend. Thank
Tell the people that buried put the last nail. Buried put the last nail like in the Prime Minister cap.
Yeah, man.
Big up on yourself. Bless up.
All right, thanks, sir.
Good afternoon. You're live on air. Welcome to the program, Chris. Hello? 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 What's going on here? You're live on air? Don't know what's going on there. Let me call back this person here was calling us.
Yes, brother.
Yes, good afternoon. You're live on air, sir. Go ahead. Turn off
Yes,
your
I
TV
am
in the background for me now, please.
Yes. Yeah, man, respect to you and Brother Ratty, eh?
Yes.
You see, as I was saying, I am 66-year-old. And we have to understand, hear the brethren say what is just going on there. If we do not be careful, you see, when this brethren came and asked the people to give him power because he is a young person, everybody actually believe in him, you see, because you can grow up in a poor community, you know, but after you go to school and you get a certain amount of education, that's supposed to give you character. If that education won't give you any character, you can be a person who use against your very own people and destroy them because of material greed. So you see, everything go back to character, ethics. You see, ethics. You see, Brother Ratty and these brethren, they leave Jamaica, they make themselves into somebody and still trying to help the country as best as he can with his education. Some people education came from the plantocracy. And if you look at the various kind of faces that we have to deal with our politics in Jamaica, some people still have the idea that Jamaica belonged to them and not the slave ancestors, because we're not really slaves.
All right, sir.
So you must look at faces. We have to look at faces because they say you see a man's face, but you don't see his heart. And these are the things we're up against. I'm 66-year-old. I remember when Jamaica come under dangerous political infiltration, when the Jamaica Labour Party wanted power in the 80s, and we know the same playbook can come back again. So, because everything has historical bearings, and we can look.
Yes. All right, sir. Thanks for calling
See,
in.
because some people are bred for these things. They don't just come honestly, and the people put them in power. Some of us are bred to do these things because we have to go back at ancestries.
Yes. All right, sir.
And you have to look at this brethren here. Probably he doesn't born on the bed, probably born in the chimney. But it doesn't matter where you're born.
All right, my friend.
If you understand your history and your people, you're supposed to lift them out of poverty. You don't supposed to put them in more poverty. That means you have an ideology that you were taught from a long time to do whatever you're doing now. You can't have 28 bank book and nobody can question your honesty. That means you're not an honest person if you don't want to question. If you don't need nobody to question your honesty, that means you're dishonest.
I have more calls coming in, so I want to thank you for your call.
Yes, and thank you, and brother Ratty, and keep up the good work. We are watching, man. We are watching like Fox watching their cube, watching a end cube.
Thank you.
That's up. That's up.
For those who are just joining us, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Mek Wi Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. I have 10 missed calls. The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. Let's call back. This person was calling us. 954-529-8030. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. You're live.
Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Mr. Ratigan. How you doing?
Fine, thank you, sir.
I'm good, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, you know, Bob Marley have a song says so much things to say right now because the cup is full and overflowing, and sometimes you don't know what to say and where to start. But boy, I tell you, Ratty, Jeffrey, there's an old blues song say, "Who you gonna believe, me or your lying eyes?" So Oldness say, don't believe what you see and you hear, believe what I tell you. And when you have a masculine every couple of weeks in a country like Jamaica, how is it possible for that man to stand up there and talk about prosperity, tranquility, and all of this nonsense? I just want people to really step back and ask themselves, is this a peaceful and a nice country and all this stuff we say about Jamaica? I love Jamaica, but let's be honest. You cannot have 8 people murdered 1 month ago, 5 people murdered this month, and I saw it 4 people murdered. How is it possible for this maniac to say we're living in a peaceful society?
And you hear nothing from the Minister of Injustice. What they did, what the Prime Minister did is to slap the Jamaican people in their face by awarding Dr. Harris Chang Jamaica's highest award, Order of the Nation, Order of Jamaica. And this country, as what the late Wilmot Perkins always said, the center cannot hold. Mayor and occupant the land. Jamaica is under siege.
There's only, Jeffrey and Ratty, there's only so much PR, you know, you can do, you know. After a while, the bottom going to drop out. You understand? And there's going to be coming a day of reckoning for Jamaica because we cannot continue down this road. It's not sustainable.
Indeed.
You have politicians who rob the people them in front of them face and tell them, say, nothing to see here. You're a moron. You don't understand this thing. You're simple-minded. Right? And the people is going along laughing, and no matter how much people get murdered, nobody says nothing. Well, nobody, I won't say nobody, but the average Jamaican is like, no, it's just par for the course. This is the price to pay in paradise. This is the price to pay to live in paradise. Just drink your rum, smoke your weed, and don't say nothing. I had some big shot at my house for dinner, and them say, why you won't come back to live in Jamaica? I say, I can't live in chaos. I don't want to live in chaos. I want to be able to walk amongst a community. I want my community to respect me, and I respect them. Him say, but you can't just come uptown and live behind the gates. I said, no.
So caller,
I will stay over here in America where it's madness. Why swap black dog for monkey?
So caller, do you realize when I keep on saying that the people of the Vumbova and the Vumbovi doesn't give a flying count about the people who below Crossroad because the crime don't affect them?
That's what basically he was saying. He said you just have to find a place uptown and you have security, you have gates and this. No, I'm not going to live in a society that people don't respect each other, that mow down each other with impunity. I don't want to live in that kind of society. So as crazy as America is, I might as well stay here. What am I going back there to do? I have a family. I don't want my family to get shoot down because them stop at the roadside and do something and some idiot come and just shoot it up. It's madness.
Mr. Rattigan, you have anything to say to the caller?
No, the caller is absolutely correct. Moving uptown and living in a gated community, that in and of itself is telling you that there's a crime problem. When them said to You know, you can just move upstairs and you move uptown and you can have your security gate and you can have your. Who the hell wants to live like that? I agree with the caller. And by saying that you're admitting that there's a crime problem and that the best you can do in Jamaica to escape it is to move into a gated community and have security guard. That is not the solution. That is not the solution. So I agree with the caller 100%. But also I have to put out, after Chosen Claudette said something about 15 minutes ago. She said, "Good morning, Mr. Jeffrey and Mr. Rattigan and listeners. Prime Minister Andrew Holness' behavior is enabled by the citizens of Jamaica who do nothing to stop him in each step of his criminal behavior." There is a lot of merit to what Chosen Claudette is saying. We cannot ignore that. Yes, the man is acting irresponsibly, but who's holding him accountable in Jamaica? We don't see the uprising, legal uprising that we're talking. We don't see it. You know, he's gotten the media now to be so fearful that them never want to write nothing. They don't want to write nothing about him.
Because
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Listen up the letter to the media and not a peep. Not a peep. You know, they're on one level, they're spineless. On another level, they're fearful. On another level, they're lazy. You know, there's so many different levels. And pick your choice. The fact of the matter is that no matter what the choice is.
Mr. Rattigan.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rattigan, there is a level of complicity in the media over the last couple of decades. If you don't want to step into that job, it brings certain risk with it. Don't do it. But if you're going to do it, you have to do it honestly. Because credibility is the only currency that you have as a journalist. And either you speak up or you get the hell out. You can't have it both ways.
My good friend.
You're right. What you have.
All right, Jeffrey. I'll talk to you later. I'll call you.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, thanks much.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir. On several levels. You have complicity, you have fear, you have laziness, you have incompetence, you have favor. You know, you have so many different levels where. You have so many different levels where the media is just failing the Jamaican public and failing.
Hey, you're still on, Jeffrey?
Yes, we're live on here. Just a moment.
Go ahead with the call.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, caller. Welcome to the program. You're live on Air Baltimore.
Yes, good afternoon to you and to Mr. Rattigan. Hey, Mr. Jeffrey and Mr. Rattigan, let me tell you something. Jamaica is standing on the brink of a civil war. And to me, it's unavoidable. I saw my first shooting when I was 10 years old. And that was a policeman shooting a man innocently, taking him out of the car. And I've seen it on probably 2 or 3 other occasions while living in Jamaica. And they've been running the same playbook. Not to mention, there are good people in the court system, but we have to admit it, there are bad people. Sometimes the cases won't make it to court, and if they make it to court, Jeffrey, send people go and watch. You will see how the judges handle the people in court. It's wrong. And then you have nobody to hold these people accountable. These people have dug a trench around Jamaica, Jeffrey. When you look at, we have the highest paid politicians in the Caribbean. We have the highest paid judges in the Caribbean. We have the highest paid top policies in the Caribbean. And we're not getting anything for it. Anything for it. One question I would like Mr. Rattigan to answer for me.
Yes.
Mr. Rattigan, I know that in America, if you invest like 20,000 in JP Morgan in like a fixed account, you get like $2,000 every 90 days. I would like somebody to tell me how much money did the Prime Minister invest to generate so much money. I would like to know what kind of investment, and then I would like to know, because based on the amount that's paid, Mr. Rattigan, it must be a good sum put in there to take out.
Look, that that's a question that we're all trying to find the answer or get an answer to, because the Integrity Commission, they don't have answers to. They have more questions than answers, a lot more questions than answers, and they've said that the Prime Minister refused to provide certain critical pieces of information that could help them to fully address the illicit enrichment issue, and that's one of the reasons why they said they're referring it to the FID, because the Prime Minister refuses or has refused to cooperate with them. So
Okay.
the other thing is that the point that you raise, is a point that's well worth looking into, and that is how many accounts. Well, the 28 accounts, are those accounts all local accounts, or do they include foreign accounts as well? That question wasn't answered by the. I don't think that question was posed, and it certainly wasn't answered in the IC report. But people would like to know, because I sincerely believe that he had, or he still, he has bank accounts overseas. I can't prove it, but I would like to know. And there are certain people living in America that I would like to be interviewed about this issue.
And one more question, Mr. Ratty. Like how the Prime Minister talked, say him own Positive Media, right? And Positive Media is basically, they are doing media coverage in his constituency for the Jamaica Labour Party. So the Prime Minister is saying now, it's not like when we did hear about Robert Garvin and him and Robert Garvin. The Prime Minister is telling us now, with his wife as the person who give out those contracts, he's telling us that he directly gets a contract from the government to himself, to his company. So why they didn't charge him for that? Because I didn't say it, He told what Positive Media does.
Okay,
and where they get their business.
Okay, Mr. Rodriguez, answer the question for me now, please.
Okay.
Well, Positive Media at one point was owned by the Prime Minister and one of the and a Mr. Azan, one of the Azan, a member of the Azan clan. What's interesting is that Positive Media had 100 shares. The Prime Minister owned 99. Mr. Azan owned 1. What's interesting is that the 99 shares, or the Prime Minister's share of Positive Media, was worth 2.8 something like that million Jamaican dollars, and Mr. Azan's 1 share was worth 2.1. I just found that kind of interesting, that you have 99 shares worth 2.8, something like that, and then you have 1 that's worth 2.2 or 2.3. But those shares, the Prime Minister, he relinquished those shares to one of his sons. So he doesn't have that company. If you notice, I didn't say he doesn't have any interest in it. I'm saying he doesn't own that company. Right? Any longer. It's between his son and Mr. Azan. Now, you raise a question as to whether or not he should be arrested because he's giving himself a contract. And I suppose that you're referring to the time when he owned it. That's a good question. And that's something that the IC should be looking into. Because you're right, you can't have the Prime Minister owning a company and then that company is getting government contracts. You have to have arm's length dealings with these things. The Prime Minister shouldn't be involved in this kind of business. Shouldn't be. And by the way, let me just say this, that same company, Positive Media, they did some work for a company called Green Emerald. Yeah, I think Green Emerald or Emerald Green, one of them. Yeah. And that company is located in the heart of the ghetto. It's located on Henderson Avenue in the Prime Minister's constituency. Now, that company is saying that it hired Prime Minister's company to do some marketing thing for them. And by the way, the same Robert Garvin that you mentioned, who was involved with Westcon, he has some affiliation with this Green Emerald company, right? So the Green Emerald, who I don't know what kind of business they're involved in, but they're located on Henderson Avenue, right? Near over Cockburn Pen, near Mall Road area there. And they said that they hired the Prime Minister's company to the tune of $2 million plus Jamaican dollars.
What did it do?
So they paid the Prime Ministers, they paid Positive Media $2 million plus for services rendered. In addition to which, they loaned the Prime Minister's company $20 million. Just think about that. Think about that.
Hold on. The company, repeat yourself, Mr. Rattigan. Because I'm confused.
The same company that the gentleman spoke about, Positive Media, a company that was once owned by the Prime Minister, but is and Mr. Azan, but is now owned by the Prime Minister's son and Mr. Azan. At one point, that company, Positive Media, they did some PR work, some marketing work, advertisement work for a company called Emerald Green. Follow me now. Prime Minister's company did some work for Emerald Green. Now, Emerald Green, right, is a company that's affiliated with Mr. Robert Gavin.
Yeah.
Garvin, right? Who is this man? This is the man who was in charge of Westcon construction that got some contracts from the government, and it was alleged that the Prime Minister's influenced those contracts. That investigation was submitted to the Parliament for tabling last year. And the prosecutor said that she's not going to prosecute, right? So this Emerald Green company, right, in the middle of the ghetto, we don't know what them do. Them say they hire the Prime Minister's company. So you see the connection, Robert Garvin, Westcon, you see that connection, and Emerald Green. And it says that it hired the Prime Minister's company to do PR work in the amount of $2 million, right? So when it was time to pay, they paid the Prime Minister's company the $2 million. And on top of that, they loaned the Prime Minister's company $20 million.
That would make no sense.
Yeah, they hired the Prime Minister's company, paid the Prime Minister's company for work, for services rendered, and then say we're going to loan you $20 million. So they loaned them the $20 million. The Prime Minister's company, right, Positive Media, it turned around and it paid back Green Emerald $24 million. So follow me. Green Emerald paid the Prime Minister's company $2 million for PR work and then loaned the Prime Minister's company $20 million. The Prime Minister's company turned around and paid Green Emerald $24 million. So now the IC said, okay, where's the paperwork? Because we still not lend millions of dollars and go back and forth. Where is this paperwork?
Right.
Oh, Green Emerald, not Emerald Green. Yeah, Green Emerald. Thanks, Owen. No money. I mean, no paperwork. No paperwork. So then what? So I guess they should be looking at Green Emerald and say, okay, where you get this money from? You located in the middle of the ghetto. Where you do down here that you make this kind of money? Where you get this money from? And how is it that you can lend the Prime Minister's company $20 million and you get back 24? The $4 million is that interest. And if it's interest, where is the paperwork showing this agreement? Right?
Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, Jeffrey, and good afternoon. Mr. Rattigan, I have a question for you because it's been bothering me for years.
Okay.
I can't put a picture to Garvin.
Which Garvin? That?
Robert Garvin, the man who's in all these mix up with Can somebody put a picture? That's all I want to ask. Thank you.
Oh, you want?
So that's all he wants to know.
All right. Before I answer that, Lloyd Mills said Green Emerald is a wholesale, right? So, all right. So, a wholesale. Think about this. A wholesale. Hire the Prime Minister's company. You have a whole PR company out there, you know, right? But they choose the Prime Minister's company and say we're going to pay you $2 million for promote our business. And on top of that, guess what? We're going to loan you 20 million. And then when it's time to pay, you pay us 24 million.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Mek Wi Talk program. You're live.
Hi, Norman here.
Yes or no?
Hey, watching you, Mr. Rattigan. First and foremost, Mr. Rattigan, that was a lovely letter to the king.
Oh,
we went through it on another platform. That was a lovely letter.
Thank you, sir.
To both of you, it doesn't need any scientists to see that Jamaica is bankrupt. When the government is asking the airport people to give them money 12 years in advance, that's a sure sign the country don't have no money. It's bankrupt.
Hold on for me, please, sir. I'll let you go back and talk. I have to address the situation here. Let me make something clear on this platform here. The Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party cannot pay Wilfred Rattigan or myself to come on any platform and talk anything. Obviously, the two parties paying you idiots. So they can come and talk and we want to talk. This country is under siege. This country has so much things going on with corruption and criminals gunning down Jamaican citizens. And all they can do is come over and chat paying nonsense. Let the Labour Party go put on your 10 pound of chiba cover fire, no? They don't want to go down that road, but they have to. Have a great day, you idiot. Sir, go ahead for me.
Yes. I grew up in Jamaica. And I've never, in my life and in my tenure there, I've never seen a situation where somebody has to go buy a squeeze of toothpaste or buy 2 slices of bread at the store. This is a clear indication that this country is gone. And when I hear on the news, on the platform, the various platform that I listen to, that the Bank of Jamaica is propping up the dollar. How long can they sustain that? Propping up the dollar. How long can they do that for? Sooner or later, the dollar is going to devalue when you're going to pay $300 for one. I remember when I traveled to Colombia in 1982, the Colombia pesos was 67 to $1 US. Jamaica is heading, it seems that they're heading further than that. It's 150 something now going to 160. Sooner or later, it will be 300 to 1 if it continues down this road. And I don't understand why people in Jamaica fail to see when this guy walking around talking about prosperity. Where?
For him and his cronies.
I was like, show me one incident where there's people are prospering in Jamaica.
Yeah, man. People are prosperous in Jamaica. You know, you have some of them who are contractors and project managers at the Corner Regional Hospital. You know, they're prosperity people. You know, and they're being paid to go on social media and bring down other people, other Jamaicans, to show you how damn daft and fool they are.
I don't understand. Thank you, guys. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
The number to call is 954-529-8830. Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
You raise a good point. The caller raised a good point about that's a separate issue about the
It's off again, Ratty.
The bond. Huh?
Your mic is off again?
No, man, mic fine. You can't hear me?
Go ahead. I hear you a little better now, yes.
Oh, what now? You can't hear me now?
Much better.
Okay. Yeah, the mic was a little bit low. Yeah, he raised a good point about they're collecting money. I think it's $40-something million on a bond for 12 years. And what they're doing is they have this company that will collect monies from having to do the operations over at the Norman Manley International Airport for 12 years. So it's more than $40-something million, right? If a company is gonna come in and say, okay, we will collect the debt, we will collect all of this money for you. It's more than that. This I'm telling you, this money is gonna disappear. Yeah. This money is going to disappear.
Hold the point there for me. One moment. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to the program Live Jamaica. Go ahead.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Ratty. Big up yourself.
Yes, thank you.
Big up yourself. My question today is, all we are say and we are say, is there no immediately or probably emergency way to stop Mr. Onis?
Okay.
No, Mr. Onis need to stop. Some Onis need to stop. He need to come back. Because in spite of what he's doing to the country, to the people, to everything, he's still a going to behave like him is that president and him grandfather put in name on the will for Jamaica. Now something have to done before the election. We are saying we are waiting for election. Election too far. You know what can't before election call? This is getting too dangerous now. See the man called and I said gunfire down our tongue there. It is getting, and the man don't care. He dry like when push popcorn in eye. The man no care. The man has a government badness. The man no care. In the all boat in the pantap a whole courthouse stop. In the all boat now no shame. And if member of parliament them back him. So we need to buckle up, find some static. We get we making up pay in time of prison and give it back with money. That is it, me I talk about right now. The king, Jamaican people, we no call it date, make we go out there, go demonstrate. We not put on no orange, we not put on no green. We are going to put on with Jamaican color and go either the parliament up at King's House where it becomes Arms House or somewhere about there to make somebody here with vice. It can't happen like this. And when you sit down and use a fine teeth comb and comb through where you see it happen, it take time to sneak up to something huge, something massive. These people take time. This man a grow on. We see my St. Thomas and the people them no welcome him on the two little fly them and the two little shrink them. Cause so they call people we are call them back to we not here. And two of them, him not get no overwhelming hallelujah and you know God a come. So he have him mad. And by right, Mr. Pantan, big up yourself. Him say something in a parliament when we see some fly and chink again. I lick the man. And the man is not wrong. The majority of the parliamentarian on the Labour side, they are mad. They're not even mad, they are insane.
You know something, Carla?
Because they say,
You know something, Carla? The late Wilmot Perkins once said, that this country is going down somewhere because we have some people who came from the intellectual ghetto of the West Indies. And the center cannot hold Miranaki upon the land. Bruce going to tell them that termite them out them brain, and I believe that termite eat some of them brain for true.
Yes, and Mr. Bruce Golden, let me tell us something, sir. We are wholly accountable to. You know why? You is the man who pass the baton, give Andrew Holness. You're still alive. You're still up and running. And all of your brain intact, and you have knowledge, you know what happened. Regardless, you're the former prime minister. It's your party. Next month, you're going to see a conference. At times, you turn up in front of Andrew and say, Andrew, guess what? Your man comes to Jamaica Labour Party. You can't bring down a party like this. You don't need to stand up. What is it? Let me say, all of the thief, where my thief and Guno, some them have secret for each other. Nobody with no bars, nobody with no spine, nobody with nothing can stand up in front of the man and say, brother, we give you and you feel. So step aside now. Everybody underneath him, I hope I catch them. And when the man say, them are going to talk about Mr. Pantan to refract what? And I can tell some of these Jamaican people, most of them used to work in a media. And people know from media. Someone used to call out cash pot on radio. And people used to have respect for them. But from the minute, the second, fall on the Andrew on his hand, the respect gone way down until the day when them bury have no respect in a Jamaica. again. And when the table turn, nobody now go employ you. So to make sure so you have visa. And when you go to America, the diaspora not go want to know neither. Because you know apartheid will bring down the country. Now you want me fantasy, I want them will look for the young man. The future doctor, the future prime minister, future lawyer, future pilot, and make him not have no boundary when him asks a positive question. And nothing uno account. And what is it that Mr. Andrew Owens have for uno why no can't stand up for no little piece of rock? Uno make one man draw down the whole of uno in a hole. And let me tell you, no people, the whole where my draw uno, you say we Andrew hole deep, man drown in there. If we Andrew hole deep, man drop in there and drown. Portia hole in deepish. But feeling deep, that man drop in there and drown. Uno have nothing about to know.
Miss P, let me ask you a question, Miss P.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, the Minister of National Security, Dr. Harris Chan, get an award and the advice of the Prime Minister to the Governor General. Jamaica's highest award, Order of Jamaica. Is it that he get the award because he presided over a good security ministry, or is it because he get the award because a lot of Jamaicans that the nigga them dead, kill all the nigga them?
All right, let me tell you why he get the award for. He get the award if he be the liars, thiefiness, cruelest, coolest, wickedest. We can't find adjective to describe him when he do to the country, and to link with the thiefiness prime minister. And that thing get award for. That me show you so we country gone down because down to dog I get award. Award is to be people with dignity, people with pride, people when them pass this life, they name forever call for good. Or you can take up with award and again people like them where they name in a WikiLeaks. And you're acting prime minister, minister of security, and you can't go big foreign. You can't go foreign go liaison with the FBI and the other intelligent people and right. Guess what? We come from Jamaica, me a Ministry of Security, me want a little help. This is what happened in my country. Somebody help me, I beg help. Anyway, me can get it, we take it. Even with advice or personal or beat on the foot, anything you want help me. But you can't go. So crime can't solve in Jamaica because they are the crime monster in Jamaica. Jamaican people in the diaspora, whether you don't believe it or not, crime pays. And it pays the prime minister and in million them.
Yes. All right,
one young man, one young man tell the prime minister if you go whatever, and police find him under him bed. That for sure said them Pegasus at work. But when corruption and when big drugs find and this and money finding cannot find, Jamaica people, if you love your picnic, your grand picnic, and your future, you know, have to stand up. And Mr. Ratty, may I ask you again, so I may go back to class. But there's anything emergency we can do. We stop this because this man we are going to talk and he might run up and down same way. It can't go like that, brother. We want to help Jamaica in a crisis. The money gone. We want to help JPS have a style long. I take email you. I tell you say how much money gone for your light bill. Then I put out here again. Flow do the same thing. What is this? We can't hurt somebody. Right? And Bruce Golden, may I tell you the truth? You need to stand up. You have a ball. Stand up and tell the man to take for himself until further. All right. Miraculous.
Thank you, Mr.
All right. Let me answer Ms. B there. Let's be in our own way. In our own way. She's a professor. In our own way, she deliver the message. In our own way, she speak truth to power. In our own way, she slice and dice through the issues and bring it to a level where everybody can understand. So Ms. P, why you big up yourself and why you know some respect you and I love you to the bone. Continue doing what you're doing. people like you, Miss P, give me the inspiration to continue doing what I'm doing. And as long as there's a Miss P around, there will always be a Ratigan around. Now let me address your question. And by the way, big up your son too. You ask what can be done immediately to address the situation with the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister, you believe, and a lot of Jamaicans believe, that he has done some dastardly deeds that should really have some serious consequences like prison. Well, we believe that it won't happen in Jamaica. It will have to happen somewhere else. Now, one of the things that, if you look at the Magnitsky, and you look at how the U.S. government, particularly the U.S. government, it's more aggressive in its stance against corruption, acts of corruption by foreign leaders, more so than Canada, the U.K., the EU, Australia, Kiwi, and other countries, Kiwi, New Zealand. What you realize is that they will go after these countries. They will go after these. They'll go after these leaders when them out of power. They usually don't go after them when they're in power, because that could translate to destabilizing a country. So they don't do that. They wait for you to come out of power and then go after you. And if you look just this year alone, lots of former leaders, former foreign government officials, they have been charged. Some of them are in prison right now in the US. So that's why it's so important for the Prime Minister to win the election, because he knows that if he win the election, based on everything that's going on, geopolitically and otherwise, that it's unlikely that the US government or any government will seek to prosecute him. He knows that. But if him lose, him knows say, I don't want to use the language, but Jeffrey program is a family program, so I don't want to say certain things. But if him lose, things will be difficult. It will be challenging for him. So that's why I'm happy to win the election. I'm happy to win the election. Now it's up to the Jamaican people, right? So Miss P, let me just, that's the first part. The first part is that he must win in order to avoid being prosecuted for some of the things that have taken place in Jamaica, and some of the things that people believe that he might be involved with, right? Of course, the evidence has to be provided, but we believe that the American government has everything that it needs in order to bring a prosecution against him. The second thing is this. You said that we are secret for each other. Secret for each other. And that is true. That is true. We believe that nobody's perfect. And one of the questions I've always said I'd like to ask as Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, can you say with 100% assurance, give us the assurance that you've never been involved, directly or indirectly, in any way, shape, form, with any corruption in Jamaica? Just ask him that. Ask him that. I wanted to ask him that. But if you're going to look at it like, say, well, then so many things going on, you can just point to any ministry and you'll find some financial impropriety going on there. And some of these people tell you they come back to the highest office in the land. That's two. So when you say them have secret for each other, yeah, we believe that the people have secret for each other. Of course. Here is a key point. And we're talking about what can be done, or why haven't we done anything, or why hasn't anything been done about removing the Prime Minister? The question that his party is facing right now, and because you said all of them are supporting him, I don't think in the privacy of their homes, in the recesses of their minds, that they truly believe in what he's doing. But politics is a strange endeavor. It comes with power. And once you taste that power, it's like a drug. You don't want to lose hold of it. And so the question that they have to, they, meaning his party members, that they have to think about, because remember, they want to hold on, they want to keep taking this drug, is this. If you should replace the Prime Minister, if you should get rid of the Prime Minister today, Who will replace him? They do not have an adequate replacement. They don't. Who will replace him?
So hold on, Mr. Rattigan. If the People's National Party, forget about People's National, if the Jamaican people petition the Governor General to remove this Prime Minister, obviously the GG have to dissolve the Parliament and call an election.
No, it has to come through Parliament. It has to come through Parliament. And you see, Parliament, them have 49 of the seats, although only 48 being occupied right now because they didn't replace Gilbert yet. They didn't replace her. So it won't pass. It won't pass.
Hold on. Hold on. Remember what I'm going to say. Hold on. So you're saying to us this afternoon on the Mek Wi Talk program that even if the Jamaican people petition this Governor General, say all of Jamaica decide to do it, petition this Governor General, say listen to me, we do not believe in the cabinet of this Prime Minister anymore. He needs to be removed. You're saying that the GG has to go to the Parliament with that?
No, the people have to go to the Parliament. It has to be the no confidence vote has to be taken in Parliament.
Yes, I know.
Then you go to the GG. You can't go to the GG and sidestep the Parliament. You can't, because remember now, the Parliament is what? The people's representative. So they must have a voice in it. And it cannot be, they go to the Governor General and then he make a decision and then come to them. It's the other way around. They do it like they do it there in Parliament, and then the Governor General has a role after that. But he doesn't have a role before.
So hold on here. Don't think that I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand something here. The PNP or call coming in. Hold on. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to the program. You're live.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Tavares.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
All right, in Jamaica.
Yes.
I just watched a lady a while ago on the program.
Yes.
But I called to tell you that the Prime Minister he can't afford to lose this one, because if he lose this one, he's in a deep trouble. So he will do whatever it takes to keep himself in a power. Because he don't do enough wrong to Jamaican people. You know. He know that, you know. And in followers, them know that too. Or you if put something in space back, if protect the citizens of Jamaica from criminal activity, politician, and you see what I shall shut it down. True, because of your own self. What can't ever go to side? So in the first place, why? Yeah, in the first place, why you have to trouble taxpayer money if you didn't know that I come down to this?
I don't think.
Why you never just leave taxpayer money?
Hold on. I don't think the Prime Minister had trouble taxpayers' money, you know. It's not taxpayers' money, the Prime Minister trouble. There's no proof, Mr. Rattigan, that he troubled the taxpayers' money. Is there any proof to that?
No, not in this report. Not in the 20.
The evidence is there, but it don't come out as yet, Mr. Jeffrey.
Well, I can't.
It just don't come out as yet. He might try if you block it.
Hold on.
No. Caller. In the 2020, in the 2024 report, they're talking about is statutory declaration, and so there has been no linkage to the investigation on public funds. There have been questions as to where did the money come from, but those questions have not been answered. Now, if you go to the 2023 report, now that had to do with public funds, because there they said that he unduly influenced the awarding of contracts to a company that he was associated with the owners of. And one of them was a business partner of his. Now that money for those contracts, the bushing contracts, that's taxpayers' funds. So the 2023 one was the investigation was about taxpayers' funds. This one is about his personal funds, but they can't tell where the money come from. So they can't make an accusation and say, well, it's taxpayers' money. I mean, we want to make that statement, but that's a leap. You can't make it. You have to make the connection clear. And the connection is not clear right now. So because there's still outstanding questions as to where did they look in between 2020 and 2023. 3 of the companies associated with the Prime Minister, Imperium, Estate Bridge Holdings, and Positive Media, they circulated 474 million Jamaican dollars. 3 companies that he's affiliated with in 3 years. Though the question is, where you get all of that money? I know something, you know, we're tempted to say. Go ahead.
I hear it. So you hear about the COVID-19 money? You don't hear about it? Do you hear it? And so the COVID-19 money, the COVID-19 relief fund, you hear about it regular on social media? Why don't the Prime Minister don't come out, go adjust himself and talk about it?
Hold on for me, sir. I have a tendency of, I have to get things from within the media itself. Yes, there is some things going about COVID-19 money. I have no proof on the documents. Do you have any documents, Mr. Rattigan?
Yeah, I have documents regarding funding coming to Jamaica, but I haven't gone through it yet. I've got it from PIOJ.
Okay.
Yeah, we have some, but we haven't gone through it yet. But the caller is onto something though, because a lot of money went into Jamaica. I'm being told that it's over $1 billion. Now I do know for a fact that about 750 million US dollars in loans were provided.
Yes, we're aware of that. Yes.
Yeah,
right.
Right. We're aware of that.
So what about that? What about that amount of money? Why don't come out go adjust the nation, say, and get the money and then give it to the Jamaican? Or into whatever I do with the money? Because that money is a lot of money. Is the poor people funding of Carolina, and they don't give it to them. And you realize, so from that time, you cannot declare asset.
Well,
because it's stole away all of that money. And that is poor people money.
Hold on for me, sir.
Here's what happened, Carla. You are raising some good points, you know. Don't get me wrong. We're on the same wavelength. You're raising the good point. But I like your idea where you said have him come and explain about the money. Have him or the person in charge of PIOJ or the Minister of Finance, or have somebody come and explain that much, because an adequate explanation has not been provided yet. I agree with you on that. Somebody should come out and talk about that. But at this point, we cannot say that that money went into the Prime Minister's account. We can't say that. We don't have any evidence of that yet. I mean, we have to wait until we see what becomes of the investigation with FID. So I understand your frustration that you're saying, well, you want to say, well, he never have the money before, and then all this money coming to Jamaica, and then he have a sudden he have money. And so there's a tendency to say, well, then, what happened, and then you connect this imaginary dot now, and you say, well, then that means that the money come from this. So not so fast. We have to prove it. You know what I mean, Carla? But I agree with you that money came in for poor people. Poor people didn't get the money, and there have been no full, there hasn't been a comprehensive explanation as to where the money went. I agree with you.
All right, Carla. Thanks for calling in.
So don't you realize he won't come out and adjust that? Why the reason? If somebody telling lie on me and accuse me that way as a Prime Minister, I'm supposed to come out and adjust that myself. I'm not supposed to make those allegations passing around on my name, and I can't clear my name.
Well, based on what's going on, sir. The Prime Minister don't give a flying cow about anything,
Yeah.
Yes, because he have this feeling saying unstoppable. That's the reason why he care not about the Jamaican people. He just care about himself and the crowd.
No, here's the thing, Carla. In the court of public opinion, you can make all kinds of assumptions. You can say, well, that's where the money come from or whatever. But you see, in a court of law, you have to be able to prove it, right? And that is what that has not been done yet, to show that money came from the public coffers.
Sir,
Prime Minister.
Sir, I am a born Jamaican. I live in Jamaica, and I hear say I'm in a Senate elect. I know all of this money gone in the Prime Minister pocket.
No, sir, we can't prove that. So I won't say that on air, please. All right, there's no proof to that. And Mr. Arthur, we don't have any proof to that. We don't have any proof to that. So be careful what we say. All right, I want next call coming in. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, Mr. How are you doing?
Yeah, ma'am. I may have a follow-up question to Mr. Ratti.
Yes.
Mr. Ratti, just a question. Is there anything the JDF can do? Like, come out and like what we read in a paper with that and get and
hold on, Miss B. Repeat what's about JDF.
If the army JDF can force him, although him as the Minister of Defense, is there a way where the army can turn against him and get him out and whatever?
All right. Hang up on that. Let me see if you want to answer that question. Hang up.
Yeah, no, for that to happen, you'd have to have a coup. And Jamaica is not known for coups. Jamaica has never had a coup, a military coup, in fact. So out of many say it there. So that's what would happen, Ms. P. You'd have to have a coup. And I'm not advocating for any coup. Jamaica is a democracy, and people have a right to vote. And so they need to go out and exercise their right to vote. Vote for whoever you want to vote for. Just make sure you vote for somebody who's going to take care of your family, your community, and your country. That's all. Somebody who's not going to put themselves and them family ahead of the people and the country. Now, the question, like I was saying, Jeffrey, the one I was addressing was who going to replace him? Jeffrey, take off. Okay. Who going to replace him? They don't have a suitable replacement. They don't. So that's why they have to still stick with him, because it is too late. We have an election that will take place within a year, less than a year. And you can't, if you remove him now, if they, meaning his own party, if they remove him from the leadership position, disastrous. It is going to be a disaster. So them have to just bite them tongue and just go along with the program. But I tell you, when them go home, and I hear from some of them personally, not even, them tell somebody to tell me. I hear it from them with their own voice. Them tell me, them dissatisfied with what's going on. But them don't have no choice. Them have to just go along with it. No, the other thing too is, going back to Ms. P's question. So one is, yes, we believe them have people, all of them people, them have secret for each other. Two, who going to replace him, right? Three, there's so many issues here. Three is the Magnitsky, right? The Magnitsky, it can happen, it will happen, but they usually go after people once they leave office. Somebody point inside here that it's not there are exceptions to that. There are exceptions to that rule, and it's true. Sometimes they will go after people who are in leadership position. But if it makes geopolitical sense for them to keep the person there, they will. If it makes no sense, if the person get too big for them britches and stop doing the bidding of what the American government wants to do, that's a different ball of wax. At that point, them can come and them can pull you out. Even if you're leading or you're not leading, they can come. But generally speaking, they'll wait for you to leave and then them grab you.
Hold on, Mr. Rattigan. Pick up in there. Carla, good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Hey, Jeffrey, I'm calling back again. I just had a quick question. Not a quick question, just a statement to quickly make, and then I'm going to come off. Have Mr. Rattigan and Jeffrey, have you both ever read the book Animal Farm?
Repeat again.
Long time ago. Animal Farm.
Have you ever read the book Animal Farm?
Yes.
Yeah, long time ago.
Okay. So with what is going on in Jamaican society now, remember when the pigs when they came and they said that, oh, if you let us lead you all and whatever, and that things will be better for you and whatnot. I forgot to mention it earlier. Yes. That the more things change, sometimes not said they remain the same, but sometimes they get even worse.
True.
Andrew Holness and his minions remind me so much of that book that I'm actually going to read it again. And anyone who's listening in on this live, please, I implore you, read that book. It is a book. Trust me, it was written by George Orwell, but let me tell you this much. It might have been written for another society, but it hits the nail on the head as to how the Jamaican economy and the society is running right now. This man come in with this one bag of promise and promise that things will be better for us. And then look at it now, things are actually much worse now. So that is all I have to say. Have a good day, one and all.
Thanks.
Good afternoon, Ontario. Welcome to the program. You're live.
Have a good day.
Yeah, I have a question.
Turn off the TV now, what you have in the background, please. So you have enough feedback in the studio here.
Yeah, I have a question.
We're live. We're talking about what is going on in our country, Jamaica, with well-known Jamaican retired FBI agent Wilfred Rattigan, the man who hailed from Waterhouse, who know about eating shakeout.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
Yes, I heard they talk about these guns coming from Haiti all over. But They haven't look at the real issue. What
I'm
are
not
the
hearing you, sir.
main
I'm not
things?
hearing you. Can you speak a little louder for me?
No, I'm saying they're saying about guns coming from Haiti.
Uh-huh.
But the way I see the world run, guns follow drugs. And so much drugs come to Jamaica, they're bound to be gun follow it and also corruption. That's my take.
All right, sir. Thanks so much for calling in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir Rattigan?
Yeah.
And Sir Rattigan, remember what I say, you also need to put up the letter. Because somebody just remember saying they need to see the letter. And you need to read the letter for me. To the king?
You have it. You have it. You have it. You have it.
It's on my phone. It's not in my email.
Oh, so I forgot to dig up this thing. Hold on there.
Yes.
When them get to address Miss P thing, Miss P, I forgot that. Cause Jeffrey, me now, you know my thing stay. Me can't stay another. We can't stay another 15 minutes. You know.
No problem. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to the program. You have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Man in the road, 2 minutes can't do it, but I want to say something to Mr. Rattigan and then I want to ask you some questions. Couple of questions.
Yeah.
When Mr. Rattigan said the IC should call in the FID, could it be that the IC discovers so much corruption that the IC would rather the public see what's going on instead of they refer to the ID and corruption, sweep everything under the quiet? That is what. And you more ask both of your questions. You don't think you come down too hard for our Prime Minister, sir?
I beg your pardon?
You don't think you come down too hard for our Prime Minister?
Let me ask you a question. What the word minister mean?
All right.
No, man, answer the question.
Minister over things. That means they take care of things. But
no. You send me. Send me. Hold on, man. Where reason now, you know?
Yes, sir.
You said to me, say, Rattigan and I come down too hard on the PM, and I'm asking you what the word minister mean.
Minister is the person that minister over things.
No.
That you.
No. The word minister means servant of the people. Andrew Michael Holness put up himself as the servant, the chief servant of the Jamaican people. So but we have a.
I was just saying that to say something else, you know, Jeffrey.
Hold on, man. We have a right. We have a right to criticize him. We have a right to come down hard on him. Go ahead now.
Yeah, I was just saying that to say something else, Roger. There was a man that passed. Him dead now, so we can call him here. Mr. Dwight Nelson. You remember what that man became famous for in the Tivoli inquiry?
I can't recall.
Okay. And there was another man. That borrowed some money. I think him do some construction in Puerto Rico. Yeah. You remember that man didn't recall, he didn't remember to do something too.
He said
so maybe the Prime Minister, honestly, you know, Jeffrey, don't remember when you get so much money from him, maybe if you give him some more time, you know, he might remember when you get them money there, you know. But next thing though,
you have 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Would you say the politicians getting good pay now?
Would you say the Jamaican people can live off of $15,000 a week?
Wait, hold up, Mr. Jeffrey. What I'm saying is that I believe in Marcus Garvey, and I'm going to remind you something now. Marcus Garvey said they must get good pay. But when you catch them hand in the kitty as gone to Marcus, you know Marcus believe you should take them in the public square and do something and make us out of them.
You're correct, sir. I think we should do that. Anyway.
Okay, so have a good day.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rattigan, you only have 15 minutes now, so just go ahead and let us approach.
Yeah, let me just answer a couple of things. One is somebody asked if Minister Tufton is not a good replacement. Isn't he a good replacement for the Prime Minister? A couple years ago, he was considered a good replacement. But if you look at what he has done with the Ministry of Health, you'll understand why he's not a good replacement for the Prime Minister. One example, the Cornwall Regional Hospital was originally budgeted for about 2 billion. It's 20-something billion and counting right now. You can't have this gentleman, you can't have him running the country. We're running it into a wreck, because that's what he's doing over there right now. And there are other issues as well. Let me see. John Paul had made a comment. Just keep in mind that Section 14, subsection 5 of the Corruption Prevention Act, the Prime Minister, it was not passed under the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister had nothing to do with that. That was passed, I think, in 2000, 2001. That had nothing to do with him. He's trying to repeal it. But what's interesting is that at the time, you know who was the Attorney General who reviewed it and said it was good? It was Minister Marlene Mallow Ford. So now we're going to pull up the records from Parliament, because they have something called legislative history, and there's a term they use for it, where when a bill comes up, people discuss it and you can see who said what, who was present, and all of that stuff. We're going to pull the record. They can't hide that record. We're going to pull that record, and we're going to look to see what she said at the time when as the Attorney General, because we're going to look to see what the Prime Minister said at the time, and then we're also going to go and see what, if anything, did the Attorney General said in her official capacity regarding the passage of this bill and turning it into law. So that's what we're going to do. Miss P, I can't get to your questions and the rest of the questions, to the answers to your questions today, but I promise you, call me tomorrow night. You know the number. The number is 667 369 8569. 367. No, I'm sorry. 667 369 8569. Again, the number is 667 367 8569. Call me tomorrow night between 8 and 10, and I'll
you better man people start calling now.
No, with the phone off. So that's it. But I can't spend much more time with all of you and Jeffrey. I'd love to, but I have something that I must take care of. But Jeffrey mentioned the letter. Somebody had mentioned the letter. And Jeffrey had put it out. People have written to me. I've had 2 complaints about the letter, and one of them I was able to convince, and both of them are staunch JLP supporters. One of them is in agreement with the letter now, and the other one, I haven't heard from him since I asked him if he had read all of the reports, and I haven't heard from him. And what that tells me is that he did not read all the report, and therefore he has no reason to question this letter, because this letter is based on my reading of all 6 reports. What are the 6 reports? The Westcon investigation of 2023, the corruption prosecutor's refusal to prosecute, her report of the Westcon matter. Those 2 are 2023. This year, the one that just came out, the 171-page report, along with the 16 or 17-page report from the corruption prosecutor, saying she's not going to prosecute the Prime Minister for not telling us that he had 4 bank accounts with Nova Scotia. So those are 4 reports. And then the other 2, one is the Prime Minister's 70-something page affidavit, and the other one is the, I think, 30-something page, 20-something page request for judicial review. If you haven't read those 6 reports, it's going to be difficult for you to argue against this letter. In fact, it's hopeless. It's hopeless for you to argue against the letter, because the letter is a reference to those 6 reports. And if you haven't read the 6 reports, then you're really not in a position to make any argument. But anyway, them say they want me to read it, right, Jeffrey? Or no, they want to read it.
No, they want you to read it. Go ahead.
All right. It says, and if you look at the date, October 17th, what's that? 17th.
2024.
Yeah, less than a week ago, right? Close to a week ago, right? Yeah, it's a week ago. It's a week ago. No, wait, it's the 22nd. Yeah, just a few days ago. And it says, "May it please your majesty." That is King Charles III. "I write to you concerning the reprehensible conduct of a privy councillor, and respectfully request that this individual be struck off the list by your majesty's hand. His Royal Highness has the right, the privilege, the authority to remove someone from his Privy Council. His Privy Council consists of about 748 advisors, people who advise him on various things. And our Prime Minister was, well, you see, he was appointed to that Privy Council on May 26, 2021. Some people are saying, well, he never take the oath, he never make it. Well, the thing is, you cannot use the title, the most honorable, is a title that's conferred upon you when you become a member of His Majesty's Privy Council, and that's the title that the Prime Minister is using. So it says, the Privy Council in question, the one that we're talking about with this reprehensible conduct, is the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, who we shall refer to later on, who we shall refer to in this document as P.
Yes.
And that he was appointed to the Privy Council on May 26, 2021. As background, Jamaica's anti-corruption agency, the Integrity Commission, referred to as Commission, was established in 2017 under the Prime Minister's administration. Among its responsibilities are the review of annual statutory declarations submitted by public officials, the investigation of alleged acts of corruption, and the prosecution of corrupt public officials. Everything so far is accurate, 100%. Let's continue. In February 2023, the Commission submitted an investigative report for tabling in the Jamaica. This is the Westcon investigation. And it says that said report was given to the prosecutor regarding the prosecution of the Prime Minister for his undue influence in awarding contracts, in the awarding of contracts to a company owned and operated by individuals he was familiar with, including an individual with whom he had an extensive business relationship. That's a gentleman from Westcott. And what I did, I attached this report to this letter so that the king can, or whoever his advisors, they can read through it. Then that was February 2023. In September 2024, which is this year, the Commission submitted another report for tabling, and that this report was far more damning and serious than last year's report. It contained shocking information, including the revelation that the Prime Minister had 28 bank accounts. Imagine what the king of us say when him see this. The Prime Minister had 28 bank accounts, including a joint account with a member of his constituency that he claimed ignorance about when questioned by the Commission. And I attached the report, this year's report, the 170-something page report. And if you recall, there was a bank account where the Prime Minister was a joint account holder with somebody from his constituency. And when he was asked, hey, how about this? Him say he don't know how his name get on it. Imagine that. They don't know. Now, while the Commission's 2024 investigative report did not indicate whether the Prime Minister had any existing foreign investments or accounts, his financial activity in the Caribbean, please see ADMAT in St. Lucia, and relationship with individuals in the financial industry. Please see all the people him surround himself with who have them hands and fingers and feet and toes and everything in the financial industry. His relationship with them lend credence to the distinct possibility of unreported overseas accounts and our investment. He's associated with all of these people. And so we're not saying that he has, but there's a possibility. Now, and that's true. Now, here's another truth. Notably, the Commission's 2024 investigative report recommended the following actions. And that's the report that just came out the other day, a few weeks ago.
Commission report.
Right. It said, one, it recommended that the Prime Minister should be prosecuted for knowingly providing false information to the Commission. And that is in relationship to the 4 Bank of Nova Scotia accounts that he did not report to them. They found out on their own. Next, second, the Financial Investigative Division should investigate the Prime Minister for possible breach of the illicit enrichment clause of the Jamaican Corruption Prevention Act, Section 14, subsection 5. 3, the tax administration should investigate the companies owned solely, jointly, or affiliated with the Prime Minister for possible tax violations because they paid nil tax, despite having substantial income for the applicable period. Think about that. You have a company, you make money, and you file no taxes. You do that, you go to prison. The Prime Minister do that, we have to do the investigation. The ethics committee of the part, and that's, by the way, that's true. That part about it is true. The The Ethics Committee of the Parliament should determine the appropriateness of the Prime Minister's appointment of his business partner in the construction industry to 2 public boards. So you have a business partner in the conduct. Them have a company called Estate Bridge Holdings, where them build homes and things like that. And him take this man, the man name is Norman Brown, and him take him and put him on the Housing Agency of Jamaica and the Urban Development Corporation. And guess what? Those 2 agencies, them controlled by the Prime Minister under the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. The Prime Minister is a minister for that. And him take him friend now who him and him in the business of building buildings, and him take this man and put him there. And them said ethically there's something wrong with that. Them said we can't prove any illegality, but ethically there's something wrong with that. You can't take your friend who you and him in a business of build homes and you put him in charge of 2 agencies where in the business of building homes. We are building development. We can't do that. Next thing, the Parliament should examine whether there are adequate safeguards to effectively address conflicts of interest and insider trading issues facing parliamentarians. That's a whole separate issue. And the last one here is they should question the financial arrangements where the Prime Minister received the loan for 50 million with collateral that he did not own at the time the loan was disbursed. That's factual. The report also said that the Prime Minister provided information that was inconsistent with evidence obtained during the investigation. In some quarters, some people would read that as in lie. Inconsistent. Him tell them something, and with them having at them hand, it no match up, right? And with them having at them hand, them know that to be true because it come from the bank or it come from some institution. And him says something else, so they must say it's inconsistent. Next point, the Prime Minister acquired and personally benefited from an asset that he purchased with funds from his personal account and from a charity where he was a director, Positive Jamaica Foundation, right? And that's the bond in the amount of $94,000, where them say that him take $30-something thousand from a charity and him take $60-something thousand from his account and him buy the bond, and him benefited from the bond because the bond was in his name, and when and the interest and everything went to him and I think Imperial. It didn't go back to the charity until they approached him. And if he didn't feel like he was doing something wrong, why did he move the money back to the charity? He would have just said, no, me not do nothing wrong. The money has stay right as up. If they move the money. Here's another one. The Prime Minister refused to provide critical information, and this has to do with the illicit enrichment, where them said they couldn't complete the illicit enrichment investigation because the Prime Minister refused to cooperate. He never want to give them some information. That's one of the reasons why, I think that's the main reason why they referred to FID. And then he also provide unsatisfactory explanation regarding the income generating capacity of several companies he was affiliated with, meaning that he couldn't explain where all of the money are come from, how the company are make money. He couldn't really explain all of that. And then from 2023, I just talked about this, where $473 million circulated between the 3 companies affiliated with the Prime Minister. Then we said, wait a minute now, 473 million. We said these deposits and withdrawals are extremely staggering, especially when taken in light of the following. What's the following? Here. Several years before becoming Prime Minister, the PM was identified as being delinquent on his student loan payments. Second point, there's no reporting that somebody dead and left and give money, or somebody give him a gift that he could explain why he have so much money. Third, we have no evidence that he ever gamble and win money. Small or large price, we don't have no evidence of that. And the last point is that we know that he's been working primarily he's a career politician, and in salary not allow him to live the lavish lifestyle we live right now. So that's why it's so staggering when all of these things say that him shouldn't have. Response to that, the Prime Minister sought legal review, and we attach the documents them again so them can see where him. And we say, here's one point that shouldn't be lost on anyone. Noteworthy is that the chairman of the commission, retired Justice Panton, testified in the Jamaican Parliament and asserted that the contents of the report, the one we them just tabled the other day, said the contents are factual. He never said their supposition or their allegations or whatever. He said the contents are factual.
Factual, yes.
him say, no, here's the thing. No, incredibly, and we can't even skip this part. The Prime Minister now I try to say him want to get rid of the illicit enrichment provision. And we could go down and say, and I'm going to look at it. Now we say, if the Prime Minister's petition is granted by the court, there would be no legal prohibition against corruption of this nature. And the consequences for Jamaica economically and otherwise would be grave. One of them would be that we would go sky high upon the corruption index. And when you go upon the corruption index, guess what? Foreign investments will dry up. They're not going to come to a place where it's pure corruption, right? That is one of the problems. And then you can just see the trickle-down effect, right? Fewer and fewer jobs, more unemployment, more crime, all kinds of problems, right? And then we say, this is in stark contrast to his promises to the Jamaican population, to donor countries, to international organizations, since he took power in 2016, that he's going to stridently address public corruption in Jamaica. I'm going to do something about it. Well, we never know what this similar plan for do. That him a plan for repeal the law. We have to put people, corrupt politicians in a prison. We never know what this plan for do. Now, it says the commission, okay, the commission, in the report, the 170-something report, they concluded, right, with a statement, and it's a very damning statement, because they're talking about the Nolan principles of public life. 7 principles. They trained the Prime Minister on this. He asked for training. He asked for corruption, anti-corruption training and good governance training. And the Integrity Commission gave him, gave his cabinet, gave the opposition, and gave some civil servants the training. Everybody get the training. And when them say sign off on this, a lot of you will remember the Prime Minister said, "I'm gonna go to hell," right? He not sign nothing. And nobody from his cabinet, no cabinet member today, nobody has signed. Now here's the statement they make. They said, having regard to the above findings and recommendations of this report, it cannot be, and to so underline this, some key part there, it cannot be ignored that as Prime Minister and head of government, Mr. Holness has a higher duty to the public to ensure that the laws of Jamaica are maintained. Look on the next part of the sentence. It said, and that he bears in mind and acts according to established public virtues. Them say he must keep it, he must think about it, and he must do it. So what they must say is that he not do it. They must say he not do it. Them say he must keep it in mind, and he must take acts according to established public virtues. Which are, and here are the virtues where they might talk about to him. Them say, those who hold public office should embody the virtues of selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty, and leadership. 7 principles. Those, he got training on those. Remember one of them are honesty, you know. Honesty. One of them are accountability. One of them are integrity. One of them are openness. Can we say that the Prime Minister has complied with these virtues? No. Read the report and answer the question. And then go on to say, this of course is not to question Mr. Holness' commitment to the virtues, except to say that a number of the findings of this report are antithetical to those virtues. You know what that means? What they must write this out is that we not question in commitment, meaning that in words. Right. You know, we not question that when we say, yes, I subscribe to this or whatever. Right? Commitment can be verbal. But look what them say next. Them say, except that where we find in our investigation are the opposite of these virtues. What we find, what am I say? You see that word antithetical? It means against. What am I say is that what we find it, the behavior we found is against selflessness, it's against integrity, it's against objectivity, it's against accountability, it's against openness, it's against honesty, it's against leadership. That's what that means. When I'm saying the number of the findings are antithetical to those virtues, meaning that he was not in compliance with these virtues. And when I'm saying number of the findings, our report of this report are, you have to ask the question, ask yourself the question, who was this report about? About the Prime Minister of Jamaica? Yeah, so that's who they're talking about. And so here, and to be fair, to be open and honest, and to to add clarity to it and to show openness and honesty. Here's what I did. I put the Integrity Commission's corruption prosecutors report in there. The lady who said she's not going to prosecute him, I put her report in there. To be honest, I said I'm going to put everything so that the king can see, because when they read it, they're going to understand. Say she should have prosecuted him.
Yes,
she should have prosecuted. So I put that one inside here, and it says Jamaicans are aware of the compelling documentary and oral evidence concerning the role played by the PM in the awarding of contracts. Nevertheless, the prosecutor refused to lay charges. I attached that. Same thing for the 2024 with the 4 bank accounts we never tell them about. She decided that she wasn't going to prosecute him. I put that in there so that they can read her analysis and determine whether it's faulty. Right? Now, we are wind on now. Many Jamaicans have a firm belief that one of the victims of the corruption prosecutor's decision is a true administration of justice. Thankfully, the commission has referred the most serious findings in the commission's investigative report to FID, FSC, the Parliament, and TAJ. Jamaicans at home and abroad await the results of those investigations with bated breath. So we are waiting for them people to come back now. And here is the last sentence where I think a lot of people like. In light of the aforementioned, in light of everything we just done right and explained to you, Your Majesty, the Prime Minister's continued presence on your Privy Council is untenable, meaning that it can't happen. Should not be. And a serious embarrassment to Your Majesty. Should not, and it embarrasses you as long as he's there. It's not only an embarrassment to you, Your Majesty, it's an embarrassment to the island paradise of Jamaica. Because when him go there, he might represent Jamaica.
Very key words, you know, the island paradise of Jamaica.
Yes, man. And it has caused, his presence is causing a deep stain on the Privy Council. How can you rub shoulders with a man like this with 28 bank accounts? By his actions, the things that we do. By his inactions, the things that we not do, like him not cooperate with the Integrity Commission. And his imputed motive, things that they can say, well, based on all of these things, we cannot figure out why he do them things, right? The Prime Minister has proved himself unworthy of continuing as a Privy Councillor and must now suffer the ignominy, the embarrassment of removal forthwith by Your Majesty's own hand. Your Majesty must remove him now, forthwith.
Yes.
Yours truly, Rattigan. That's the letter. So we send that off. We send it off to the King. We send it off to the 20 most influential members of the Privy Council. And this week we're gonna send it off again to some more members of additional members of the Privy Council. We're also gonna send it to the Parliament, the Jamaican Parliament, and we're gonna send it to the Governor General. We're gonna send it to the Speaker. We're gonna send it all over the place. We send it to the media, and they're so afraid. They don't want to publish nothing about it. Even though they know it to be true, they don't want to publish it. So, you know, this is where we are with this letter, people. And what I'm going to do, this letter is going up on our website, the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. It's going up on the website. What I want all of you to do is to take this letter, massage it. If it's too long, you can abbreviate it, or you can make it longer, or you can use the same letter and just put your name. Retype this thing and just put your name on it. And on the website, we're going to have the email addresses for all of these officials. And then you can just email them. You don't have to mail it, just email them. Make them know, say, as Jamaicans, we not approve and we not appreciate what our Prime Minister do. Our Prime Minister, you know. And when I say our Prime Minister, the Prime Minister of Jamaica is not supposed to be a JLP Prime Minister or a PNP Prime Minister. It's a Prime Minister of Jamaica, all of us. Once the election is over, it is our job, people, to support him. But there comes a point when, based on his actions and inactions, that you have to say, well, we cannot support him. We cannot support him, I do. And therefore, we have to get this thing out and show the support for it. It can't just be Rattigan and Roland from England who are do this all the time. And by the way, we have a letter where we are going to show up this Saturday where we do for the DPP, the former DPP. We file a complaint against her with the GLC, General Legal Counsel. We want her to be disciplined. So we're going to show that letter this week. We filed it last week. And again, my good friend from England, Roland, him file. But Roland keep on beating to the punch, you know. Me and Roland talk, and as soon as me and Roland done, Roland no wait, you know. Roland start right already. And Roland mail our film things. So Roland letter got to the palace on Thursday. Mine got there on Friday. Roland letter to the integrity to the General Legal Counsel. Actually, I filed before him, but there was some technicality, and then he filed, and I refiled this past Friday. So
yes.
Well,
sorry.
If you want to say it's not your PM, if it's not your Prime Minister, I don't have a problem with that right now because of everything that he's done. I'm just saying once the election is over, then we should come together as one people and say, okay, the election is over, the majority has spoken, we're going to support him. But at this point, it's on everything that he's done. If you say he's not your Prime Minister, I can't fault you. I cannot fault you.
Mr. Rattigan, we have a call online. We have one call and then we have to go.
Yeah,
yeah man. Yeah, may I go right now?
You have 2 minutes, sir. Go ahead.
Problem. Because the money, Nigeria can't buy money to pay down the debt. Nigeria can't echo. To pay down the debt. And most of those money that he borrow don't due as yet, you know. So he don't come up in with debt payment, you know.
That's true.
So the next 3 or 4 years when those debt mature.
God help you.
We are all right.
No, you're right. He's right. He's right. Some of the debt payments they're not right. They're not due yet. Yeah, he's right.
All right.
Rosemary, the website is Rosemary. The website is just Google One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. I'll repeat: One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, or you can just abbreviate it OJLDF. The website is under construction, but it's open. We're open for business. You can go there and you can go there now and review it. And by the way, review it. And if you see something wrong that we can improve upon, please let us know. Drop us a line and let us know. Eh?
And can they donate to the organization?
Yeah, they can donate to it, but we're not really in the asking mood today. We're not in the disseminating mood today. We want to give today. We just want to give.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
At some point, we'll ask the people to give, but not right now. Just go to the website, look at it, and tell us if you like it or not. And if there's a problem with the website, please let us know. But the documents I just mentioned to you, the document, the letter, and some other things will be there by this Saturday. So when you go this Saturday, the documents will be there. You can review it. All right?
Mr. Rattigan, I want to tell you that we have to go.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sandra, thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on to the
program. Sandra. Yeah, watch for the picnic. Okay, all right. All right, look, people, Jeffrey, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And folks, love you like cook food, like Sunday dinner. And the comments in the comments and chat want to keep me honest, and want to keep me straight, because we're not afraid of being criticized. Just do it in a decent way. And we're not always 100%. We're not always right. So that's why we love when you make a comment in the chat and you straighten us up, because we make mistakes just like you, like everybody else. But we're not afraid to say we're wrong, we're sorry, and we move on. And we won't make the mistake again. People, tune in tomorrow. Come Reason with Rattigan on YouTube from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And all you have to do is come with your questions. There'll be no presentation. Ask me anything you want to ask me between earth and sky and whatever. Just ask me anything. But we have 2 housekeeping rules. One is be very courteous. We don't want no disturbance over there. So just be courteous. Even when you disagree, that's fine. We welcome that. But be courteous with the disagreement. And 2, you have 2 minutes to formulate your question because we don't have a lot of time and we want to get to as many questions as possible. Jeffrey, thank you very much, my brother. We'll talk later.
It's a pleasure.
Eh?
Check your phone for me because somebody sent me something that you and I need to deal with. So we can't talk on about that.
Okay.
I want to say thanks to our good friend Wilfred Radigan from Reason Radigan and from Reason Radigan. Remember to join him tomorrow night to go reason with him. On behalf of all of us here, this is where we're going to say so long from here for another day. Join us later on this evening. We're going to speak about Negril and what is going on in Negril. Mr. Wilfred Radigan, we'll talk.
All right, my brother. Take care. Take care, everybody. For real now. All right, cool. Bye-bye.
I want to say thanks so much again for coming on. Should I take some more calls? Nah, I think I need to go. I want to say thank you all very much. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to know when I go live. Also, hit the super chat. Thank you all very much. Thank you for coming on to the program. You know, today I thought my computer was going to work, but it works because I'm having some serious problem with it. I'm supposed to get a new computer pretty soon, so I'm working on that. Thank you all very much for being on my program. It's been a pleasure serving you, the Jamaican people. It's been a pleasure coming to you, sitting down and talking with you, recording with you. To all my callers, thank you for calling in. To all my critics, thank you for criticizing. We will take your criticism and try and address what we need to address. But our country is in need of dire help. Our country is in need of help. Hit the bell icon, hit the super chat. Thank you, Miss Brown. Thank you for giving your donation to the Mek Wi Talk program. Thank you so much. Until you hear my voice again. Reggae girl, wagwan, my girlfriend. Thank you all very much. I don't mean girlfriend, I mean, you know, friend, because some people go think it take it the other way. She's just a good friend of mine, you know. I like when she come on my program. I met her in New York and a remarkable young lady, remarkable lady, remarkable. Thank you all very much for being on this program. Thanks to Miss P for calling in. She always make me laugh, and I'm trying to figure out if they build Silicon Valley yet. But anyway, thank you all very much. Like up the chat, hit the super chat. You can also donate to the program to keep the program going. Like when I need a computer, I can donate and help me out anyway. The numbers to donate on Zelle is 95452983030. Cash App is $Mek Wi Talk 345. That's Cash App, $Mek Wi Talk 345. All one word. On behalf of all of us here, the producers of this program, I am Jeffrey Tavares saying thank you all very much to come on this program. Thank you all for being a part of this program. Until you hear my voice again, I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying, have a great afternoon, everyone. May God bless you, and may God continue to bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, Mek Wi Talk, my people, Mek Wi Talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Mek Wi Talk, people, Mek Wi Talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, Mek Wi Talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Mek Wi Talk.